But murder just happens sometimes. It's just the way of things.
And that's how they lost all their characters.
So the audio's coming through, but the video's not.
Oh no.
We do have audio.
You guys can hear us.
No, I got
Video. I can
I
see
don't.
the video. Yeah, I'm.
Oh, now
Like,
I got
we
it.
can
Okay,
see.
it was a weird update.
Technology. Welcome
it.
to the show that always has trouble with our tech goblins because there are none.
He was just trying to prank you.
Yeah, I was just sitting here going, you guys get a radio show this week.
I'm just gonna eat my fruit and shut up.
My name is Jared. We have Lindsay, Nathan, Lauren, and Jared here, and we are playing some Dungeons and Dragons. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, please do check us out on podcasts and VODs and whatnot, because we're in our 5th season right now. Like, we're quite a ways in, so there's a lot of stuff that's gone on. These characters have survived 5 story arcs.
But that's just
Mostly.
like a year in D&D time. So
with that, I think unless the players have any fun announcements or anything to talk about, we can basically just dive right in this week.
Wait! I forgot.
I have fruit.
what kind?
Pineapples and cantaloupe and blueberries and grapes and bananas and kiwis and
My hair
oranges
balls.
So all the fruits.
and apples. Yeah, it's a fruit salad.
There it is.
Nice.
All right, we gave you some time, Nathan. What is it?
It was my hair light. Look at how much better my hair looks now.
Use the hair light. Okay.
Growing.
I
Man.
have fruit too.
Well,
Yeah, we have some fruit.
there
Fruit
it
juice.
is. We're gonna dive into the story. We do have a few more sessions planned after this, and because we're coming up on the end of our season, we'll be doing some giveaways. Watch on our social, and we will be letting you know when those giveaways are coming out. Do use your points to boop the snoot. Apparently, there is now a DM snoot boop for your TikTok bucks. We had that happen last week. Thank you. And we're gonna jump right in.
Well, here, let's just
Start off.
let's just show them what that looks like.
I don't know. He looks
Yeah.
way too into this.
It's a distractor. I mean, if you guys use it at
It's
the right
making me
time,
uncomfortable.
if you use it at the right time, then the DM forgets everything. We're playing D&D, I guess. So last week we had a fun little offshoot. We're going back to the main characters now. Garth, Valari, Thadric, and Ari had just seen what seemed to be their friend, or a version of him, appear out of a portal when they had broke the Power Stone. Now, getting the hammer for the Power Stone wasn't an easy feat. They were underground in a very old part, an abandoned part of what seemed to be an older area of this town. The forges of years past had a forest overgrowing everything. Something that had like really weird, sticky, gooey plants that tried to eat anything that touched them. And coming out of it, the party barely survived as a giant beast was on their tail, and they were able to sink the ceiling in on it and create a new lake just outside of town. Whoops.
You're
But
welcome.
there it is. There's a new lake just outside of this town that is based on steam power. As they rushed back to town, Garth regaining his vision, they had found that the forge they were returning to had been ambushed. Hammer, the forge master, lay dying and handed off the forge and the hammer and the power to continue this journey. And now as they broke the Power Stone, portals had opened everywhere. Some monsters fell out of one of them, and a friend or a version of Rumil had fallen out. With a little back and forth and some understanding, they had learned that this Stone of Power had been sought by Keth in various planes, various iterations of him, and he was planning to invade, at least on all the other planes that he survived. Rumil had helped them survive the battle quickly and tackled an orc back into the abyss and went after Keth, who was just in his sights through the portal. And as the portals closed, the party found themselves in the slush-covered forge. Silence had hit, and as the battles had occurred and the cracking of the power stone left their ears ringing, now was the time that they were able to take a brief breather, having learned that their destination may have fallen into the sea. What do you do?
That little kid that was like, "Hey, is the dead orc kid here?" We were like, "No, he went away, right?"
Yeah, that kid had run off.
He ran off to tell him that his mom was dead.
Yeah, you'd
Yeah.
let him know that Hammer had died, and he was going to go find his friend and tell Hammer's son that his mother has passed.
But doesn't he think he was in the city council building that fell into the ocean?
I'm not sure that was what he had thought, but he did say the city council building had fallen into the ocean, and Hammer's son had rushed off to go help fight in the city. We're not sure where he had landed.
Oh, I thought he went to the city council.
I cast water breathing as a ritual spell on all of us.
Did you do it at the start of the day? I mean, you're kind of in the early hours here, so you may do that now.
You may do that now.
Thank
We
you.
are currently at the early bit of morning, as you'd spent about a day and a half in your travels out to and through the underground mines. We do have a new hype boss, so we'll let that hit here. Thank you for all of the resubs. We just saw those come in.
Well, Scott Denuso just gifted a ton of
Got
stuff.
the news so.
Hey. So as we're kicking off this little bit of our session today, thank you, not only for your support monetarily, but just listening in and joining us through all of our fun. But yeah, we have water breathing being cast ritually, so 10 minutes of time sitting here, and the party is now stepping around in not mud, but it is a dirty wetness that covers the floors as the sleet and snow had dissipated.
Past that, I want to just go to the door, and look outside and see, can I see any destruction that we hadn't noticed? Do I see any people? What's the town? Are aliens invading?
Yes, we do have aliens and cowboys invading on TNT at 9 p.m.
Perfect.
John Favreau.
Yeah, there you go. But
Daniel Craig? Daniel Craig?
as you go to the door and you poke your head out, in the mess that had happened throughout the city, it seems that some of the pipes had been burst that fuel the city, the steam power. It is a very foggy outlook. It's a cool morning, so the fog sits heavy. You can only see about 8 or 10 feet out of the door before it kind of disappears into a dark grayish mist. You don't hear much through the fog. You do hear a couple clangs of steel in the background, as small fights have still been going on, but nothing that sounds like a large battle currently.
I mean, we probably should prepare ourselves to find whatever bit of the council may remain, or if they are gone, who is now in charge, so that we can finish what we have started.
Well, and this is just for my refresher.
Yeah.
Astra's carrying 2, and I'm carrying 2 of the shards.
Yeah, and the rest of us each have one.
I believe that's how it is.
Cool.
Yes.
I just wanted to
Your bag
make
is
sure,
special.
because I'm fancy like that.
Yes. Because you have the special bag. Now, as you're all standing there taking stock of your gear and getting the water breathing cast, Ari had gone and looked outside and turned around to the group, and she hears some footsteps, a light leather boot, nothing heavily armored, rustling up to the door, and a knock, a faint knock. Hello, is anybody in here?
Do they have a peephole in the door?
No, the door is a large wooden door, so the knock doesn't echo through like you might expect. You hear a clap, 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 and the door has been kind of like pushed open unless you decided to pull it closed tight behind you. So you do hear a small knock.
I mean, I wasn't born in a barn. I would close the door.
All right. So you do hear very faintly, hello, is anybody in there?
Yeah? Who wants to know?
I'm one of the remaining couriers. We're trying to gather all the folks in the city to take stock of who's here and prepare for the next wave.
Insight check. Does he sound like a courier, or does he sound like a monster pretending to be a courier?
Candygram.
It's a 13.
A 13. You are fairly sure this courier sounds like someone who might be delivering a message, whether or not it's a monster and the message is chomp, or whether or not it's a humanoid and the message is we're gathering folks to be prepared for the next wave.
Okay, I'll open the door then.
Yeah. As you push the door open, a slightly older man is leaning over and panting heavily. Very thin build, looks like a runner, of course, as most couriers would be. And he stands up and tosses a little bit of his gray hair back. Okay, so who? I thought this was Hammers. Who are you? Are you new help?
You could say that.
All right. Well, we're gathering up by the town square, which is now the edge of town, as part of it had washed into the sea. We're trying to make sure we have enough forces to carry on fighting if we wish to keep the city.
We're really good at that. We're happy to help.
All right.
Hey,
Well, yes.
You know if the council survived?
As far as I know, they were meeting in the large building that did get washed into the sea. There may be one or two members who run late, but it seemed like calculated attack of sorts. But I can let them know that you're looking for them. Who might I say is asking?
The champions.
The champions. Oh, all right. Well, I'll let them know. And anything else you wish me to relay?
We also go by Hydra. I don't know which name they've been referring to us as.
Fair.
The older man kind of leans around the door and looks in. You're the ones that. Oh, yes. We have heard you killed a Hydra. Word travels fast here.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, I will let them know that the champions of Hydra are looking for them.
We're also looking for that good robot, us. I mean, dude, number 2.
Oh, yes, I believe some of the party that, that found you, the mercenaries, they did survive, and they are actually the ones leading the charge here for the remainder of the city.
Oh.
But I haven't much time. I must knock on the rest of the doors in the area. There's only 2 of us couriers remaining of a large total of 15 that once ran the city. So,
Oh.
well,
Are they all dead, or did a few just sprain an ankle, or?
our headquarters was in the same building that washed into the sea.
Oh, that's sorry.
Let the other know that you're sorry, and pass that on, and I wish you the best. Hopefully see you soon. And he gives a wave and just hustles off into the mist, and as he goes, the mist kind of curls around him and then almost just like sucks him in. No, don't read that as like he got eaten by anything. It just
Miss Monster, go!
The mist is heavy.
Our blades will do nothing.
Well, I mean, I think we only kind of half packed up, right? So we got to finish packing up.
Yep.
And then I guess we can go. I should probably clean the forge. Like, get the slushy stuff out.
All right,
I feel
Cinderella.
like it would have melted.
Yeah, but then there's water everywhere.
It
You
is
don't
a
understand.
damp residue across the floor at this point, as it had melted over the last little bit.
Yeah, I'd grab like the shop broom or whatever and just kind of mitigate it.
Yeah, you're able to push a bunch of the water to the doors. There's a few grates. There's actually a couple spots near the edges where it looks like it's kind of a trough that dust and dirt would get pushed into. So you're able to get the floors from a wet and sloppy to a damp in only a matter of minutes while Garth is finishing up his casting.
Good enough for me.
I'll help him clean, I guess.
All right. As you're all packing up, can I get just one insight check from each of you as you're moving about the area?
Insight.
Insight?
24.
9.
Flari?
10.
10?
23.
23. Garth and Thadric, as you're packing things up, both of you actually get most of your gear together, and Aster's has kind of been wandering around. You notice at about the same time that one of the two metal satchels that Thadric had made on the side of Astro seems to be a lot more empty looking than the other.
How dare you? I made latches.
Patrick, did you grab yet another piece?
I mean, I don't think so, but maybe. Let's look. Let's count. Let's count our shards.
Everyone, hold out your shot, please.
I pull out my pizza slices.
As you pull out all of the shards, you realize that you are one short. Indeed, the sack on the side of Astro is empty, but as you are investigating it, there's a small note on a very quickly torn off piece of paper, and it said, "You're welcome" on it, -R.
I knew he'd steal it again.
Gonna murder that friend of yours too. No.
Technically, he didn't steal it. It was stolen from him. So the first time he's stealing it? But still, you're welcome.
He never had
Never
it.
One.
Like, I still don't trust that guy.
Well,
Maybe it's good to not have them all together.
As you are looking around and taking stock, you notice the glow on the remaining shards that you have isn't as bright as it was before.
He could be helping us. Perhaps because one of the shards went to another dimension.
It's lost some power?
It's lost some power, and therefore evil is less likely to seek us out because we've started to separate the power itself, yes? Breaking it up amongst different people. At one point it was one mass, everyone could sense it. Now it's 6 masses, one of which is on an entirely different dimension.
Unless there's a 7th mass now on that dimension. Making that dimension more in trouble.
Well,
Meaning we
that's
just doomed a whole new world.
Well, we're already dead there, so does it matter?
I'm not.
Ebron's not dead there.
Oh, that's right. Your boyfriend's alive there. Oh, you're
So
gonna
is
want to go
Kat.
there later, aren't you?
Let's just focus on the mission.
You want to go there, don't
Stop
you?
it.
You really want to
Stop.
go to Ebron?
I have my slice. I'm putting it back in my pocket.
You are dead there. Maybe he'd be glad to see you again.
So
What if you dated over there? What if he was your love?
I thought you were her love.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
You didn't know her with Ebron.
we did.
Thadric. Ebron's her one true love.
He's the Dragon King, or was, and then like exploded.
His brother killed him.
That was it.
But what about our season finale's wedding?
I don't know. I guess we'll just have to find out on that episode.
I mean, her heart goes on, but
Near, far, wherever he are.
Garth puts his hand to his head. I'm trying to see the future as a divination wizard. It's too chaotic. Valari does a lot of stuff before then. Who knows what'll happen?
So are we going to town or what?
Yeah.
if we have to.
Let's go
I want,
save
like-
people.
As I walk, I want to like be casting prestidigitation like as we walk to try and like clear the air to make sure I don't like trip on anything or anyone. Nobody like runs into me, so I like clear that section of air before I walk into it. Does that make sense?
So you're essentially making a small tunnel for you to walk into, and it just kind of comes back around you as you walk.
Yeah, it's like it's essentially like a bubble. Like I'm walking in a bubble.
Too bad no one had to
Isn't
shake
it a illusory?
Or blow wind gently.
Blow wind gently. Does anybody
Just
have
blow
that?
like a fart that direction so people like.
That's not a power. They know
Yeah,
you're there.
that's what prestidigitation actually is, because then you're like
They know you're there. Oh,
I mean, I
smell
doing an
it.
illusory.
I could fire a sacred flame randomly and burn away the fog.
Wilhelm scream.
I mean, we obviously know exactly where this building is, right?
Was
Like we've totally been to it before, right? And we could find it in the fog, let alone.
we know where it was, right?
Roughly, but I believe someone had cohorted with some of the local street urchin.
Yeah.
They may or may not have some direction. If she
Laura,
wishes
you
to.
always have a map. Which way should we go?
Like how you just assume I know that.
I mean, you do always seem to wind up with a map of wherever we go. I've never understood. Is it a sorcerer thing? Like,
If I tell you, I have to kill you, so it's best if I don't.
then you have no idea how intrigued that makes me. I'm
Now
so
you
willing
gotta-
to know the information. Really? Wow.
Got a new best friend. The whole episode is going to be Garth trying to get that information out of Valari.
But I
Here we
tell
go.
him, I tell him I have to kill him, so he apparently has a death wish then.
No, you know how curious I am. Come on. I've
You know
literally
how
gone
capable I
to
am.
That's how my cat died.
What?
Too curious.
Oh, I thought you were implying that I killed your cat.
No, she was implying that I killed her cat.
Oh, because the cat wanted to know the
My
map.
cat found out about the map.
Oh.
It died of boredom and then blew up from a random fireball. Like, it was a combo. But
I'm lost in the fog at this point.
Thadric has like started walking out as you're all kind of
Lost
talking
in
at the door.
I've been walking. I said I did the whole
Oh, yes. Well, as
Doesn't
you're
mean I was in
walking,
that direction.
who's kind of taking lead, and do we go east, west, or south? You don't really have much north to go.
Wait, I got myself confused. We're going to where the council used to be?
Yes.
No, sorry, we're going to the town square.
Oh,
Just
we're
needs
going to
square.
the town square?
That wasn't drawn there properly.
Oh, then Thadric was going to the wrong spot. All right.
Courier.
Wait, so did we agree where we're going, or?
The courier.
As far as you
called-
understand, it's now right here for town square because of what washed.
Yeah, I thought we were going to the council building.
It's in
That's
the
what I
water.
thought.
So
And-
that's where
The
Thad.
real fast Ari's gonna be like, oh guys, so sorry, we had a messenger. I forgot to tell you. A courier came. He said everybody's got to go to the town square because they're gathering people to fight, and they need us.
It's what we do. We are heroes.
He came
So-
for Hammer, but Hammer's dead, so we're going in her stead. Cause she's
But they
dead.
realize we aren't like citizens of this town, and they can't really tell us
It
what
was
to
more
do.
of a request than a command. But I figured if anybody's left from the council, they might be there so we can get rid of these shards and, I don't know, maybe go home.
I mean,
But, like, I don't want to take these shards home because then we could curse all of Faerun, you know.
Rumiel 2 took one of them, apparently.
That guy.
All right.
To
Then
town square
the
or previous
square.
council building? Square?
I guess the square.
All right.
I don't know. I'm not in charge.
It's more or less on the
That's
way
my
to
vote.
where the council building was.
Yeah, I know. Because
Okay.
we're
I would go to the square.
over here.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I start walking east.
Yeah, so you'll go out and to your left as the door faces south from this building, and as you're all walking east through this fog, it's eerily quiet. You do run up across a spot that is slightly bloodied on the ground, and you find the source, and there's a large reptile creature that seems to be beheaded. It looked like it was bipedal and had very short front claws. And then there's another one near it. These things stand a little bit taller than dogs.
Out of curiosity, on its feet, like its walking feet,
Yes.
did it have like one giant claw?
Yes, you did see that.
Okay, I don't know if Garth knows that, but Nathan's scared.
Garth doesn't know that for sure what it is, but you have seen some bones brought back in the past from an excavation, and they're similar as far as the look goes. And from all you understand, these creatures are very agile and tend to hunt in packs.
Clever girl.
Cool.
The rest of the party hasn't seen anything of this nature, so it is a bit strange. You've seen other reptiles, but more like alligator-like, but not like small dinosaurs.
Everyone should be just very cautious. This creature here hunts in what is called a pack. I don't know why I needed to say it that
I know
way.
what a pack
you all
is,
know what a
Garth.
pack is. Yes. Wait.
We've been adventuring for quite some time, Garth.
Okay.
We've seen a thing or two.
Right.
I have a pack.
Again, as soon as
You
I said it,
guys.
as soon as I said it, I realized I didn't need to word it that way. But they hunt in packs, so let's just be careful. They can be very deadly.
Perception check.
Yeah, if you want to stop and take a look around, what is your roll?
19.
19. You don't hear anything through the fog. You don't see anything, and you're looking around. So it doesn't seem to you at this moment that there's anything actively hunting you in the area.
I would like to. God, I'm hoping this works out well. I'd like to reach into my little bag that hangs from my waist.
Okay.
And pull out a little tiny puffball and chuck it down on the ground next to me.
It's one of the best magic items in the game.
All right. I believe you roll, what, a D8 on yours?
D8, yeah. D8. And I receive this little ball poofs into existence, and a large black panther appears right next to me.
Noise.
I mean,
Black
it's
Panther
okay.
drops in, and it looks around in the mist and kind of looks down at Astro and pulls its head back a second, and then looks up at you, Thadric, as it recognizes you as its commander at the moment.
I want to say patrol.
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 I'd
Paw
say
Patrol.
that it kind of hunkers down. Paw Patrol. Nice. It hunkers down a little bit and disappears off into the mist. And you see a little bit of movement as it kind of comes back near you and just makes some loops around. And it seems to be just kind of following your general area and peeking around.
Now maybe we'll have an alert when, like, panthers roar. One assumes a panther roars.
Or when humans scream because a panther showed up.
Not my circus.
All right. You're standing there with the two dead, small to medium-sized reptiles.
Oh, there are two of them?
Yes, there are two. One is beheaded. One looks like its chest had been sliced across.
Okay, I would like to grab my shield and the light hammer.
I would like to stand behind everyone else, kind of like in the middle, technically, but
So not
Yeah.
behind everyone, but
If-
behind half of us.
If Ari's in front, then Thad'll be in the back with his shield and light hammer, because that's how we
I
roll
think
now.
I'm in the front too because I was like leading.
All right, yeah, you're leading. Astro is just kind of sniffing near the front, not really leading too far ahead. You do keep seeing a little bit of your panther friend moving about in the mists.
Does the taking the flap off the light of the shield do like high beams and fog light, or does it actually help?
It does more like the high beams and fog light, as it's a very directed. So it kind of nearly blinds all of you for a moment
All right, well, then
as the
keep
fog lights up around you.
I'll keep that shielded then.
ouch. So, Valara, you good to navigate through this?
Yeah.
Cuckoo. Remember, and Garth really quick puts on his special leather gloves that he got from the kid. Remember, hey, if you haven't put on your gloves, remember there's a lot of piping around here that's really hot.
Mm.
In fact, now, as Garth says that, does the air feel like a warmer fog or like a cool, like a cool fog that comes off a body of water is different than like a steam?
Yeah, good question. It is. You can tell that there's a heat and a cool kind of fighting one another in this. It's the morning, so you would probably assume that the coolness is from the morning, but the heat may be from the source of the fog of steam here.
Does it smell like fresh laundry?
No, it does not.
That's my favorite warm fog.
That's a great one.
Fresh laundry, warm fog.
Coming out of the dryer, yeah, man, that little port.
Cozy.
So Garth is going to say, in fact, when you think about it, it's a little muggy, isn't it? I was wondering if that warmth could it be that they maybe there was a burst pipe? I mean, this city runs on steam itself.
Well, where's the water and heat source, right? That's how you make steam.
Yes.
So
I just thought it was magic.
maybe one of them went crazy? We did introduce a whole lot of water, apparently, to an ecosystem that did not have it previous.
I mean, it's an island, so they had water.
But
It's true.
like,
We came on a boat.
didn't we create a lake? What if it was like over their nonsense? And now, gesture wildly around.
I
Uh,
bet if we get to the town square, they'll, maybe have some answers.
I
We'll
assume
never
that
there. Oh, were
you guys are walking slowly as you're talking, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Valara, you do notice that you should probably take this next street as it comes into view.
Then I head south.
As Valari turns to go south on this road and kind of pushes the group down the next corner, Astro lets out a little boof, and then he steps forward and he wags his tail as if he recognizes something, and then he lets out a couple little happy barks and rushes forward into the fog.
Wow, wow, wow.
I run after him.
As you rush forward and run after him, the fog splits a little bit in front of one of the doorways off to your right as you're running down this street. You see that Astra has stepped up towards this door, and as the fog is split around it, it almost seems to kind of be protected in a bubble around the front entryway and the glass window. A very faint green glow is coming out of the window front, but it's got stacks and stacks of books in the window in a very disheveled manner, not something you'd see as a normal bookstore, but maybe like a secondhand shop with things just kind of stacked up and pushed to the sides because they're overstocked. Astra is looking up at the door, and the door is kind of creaked open just a little bit. It's a large wooden door, no window on it. the architecture here doesn't seem to have any of the metal piping across the storefront, or even on the cobblestone that is in front of this this little shop. It's a slightly different, like, little piece of sidewalk, even like it's kind of placed out of nowhere. Ari, you're able to see this first as you rush forward, and the light is faint enough that it doesn't really emanate into the fog to the rest of the group until you take a few steps forward.
That's weird.
What's weird?
This building is glowing. I knock on the door.
As you knock on the door kind of swings open just a little bit, and with a nasty bit of a creak. The door seems quite old.
I don't walk through nasty.
There is.
Can I roll a history check on the creaking?
Sure. What do you wish to gain out of it here?
If I've heard a similar creak from a door before.
What is your roll?
I mean, this is a 14.
14. Okay. Phrase your question in a way that I can understand which door you're wanting to know if you heard creak.
Does this if I all of a sudden heard about a glowing like doorway, like building, and as I walked up, as Ari's like, this is weird, and I noticed all those things you described of like, there's no piping here or here. My brain says this building almost doesn't belong here, much like a spooktacular place we've visited before.
Yeah.
So does it sound like that door?
As you hear the creak, it does kind of somewhat sound familiar. It sounds like a very old, heavy door on the hinges.
I go to the window and I peek.
As you peek, you're able to look a little bit through some of the books. You're more or less impeded by stacks of books. There's a few little gaps between, and you're able to peek between a few of the books. And you believe you see some of the books on the shelf kind of shuffle across the shelves as you look in.
Guys.
Yes?
It's spooky.
I knew it! Oh, I heard the creak, and I was like, I put two and two together, and boy, howdy, am I happy to see this place. A place full of books.
Boy, howdy?
I don't know, it just felt like, haven't you heard the kids saying that around town? I think it's a local thing. Boy, howdy, they'll say.
So, what you're saying is, we're not going where we intended to go.
Are we ever?
No.
Dad, if you ever wind up where you aimed, then have you truly traveled? Does
That
sound
makes
like
no
what you
sense,
said?
my dude.
Okay, I was trying to be you for a second there. You know?
No. I like. It's a valiant effort, most excellent effort.
Thanks.
But the execution.
I am hesitant. Because good things have happened in this place, but really bad things have happened in this place.
We've gotten a lot of answers from this place too.
Is this the library or the building with the librarian, the old guy?
In fact, I believe we got a lot of information about our nemesis, the one doing all of this damage, from this very place. Not to mention we got TikTok.
Okay.
I think we owe it to ourselves.
He gave me a note last time. Yeah.
Push open the door.
Wait, you got a note? What did the note say?
I didn't read it yet.
You haven't? Wait, hold up. That guy gave you a note and you never read it?
Yeah. I was saving it for like when I was feeling down or something.
Okay, hold up.
You think a ghost librarian's going to give you a cheery note?
Wait, hold up. If we're about to go back in there, which I think we are, I'm definitely going in there. If Thadric, if you're about to follow into there, and the ghost is like, so how about that note I gave you? And you're like, never read it. Don't you think that would be a little awkward, like a little rude?
Oh, you're right.
Read it quick,
That would be. Is it?
and then we can go in.
Okay.
Yeah, well, DM Jared's like, oh shoot. What did it say?
Pretty foggy, but I'll read this note. I gotta like dig through all my stuff, like pull out so many daggers and.
Not so many anymore. Some of them melted.
Yeah, that's sad.
I'm just gonna pull them.
Now there's only 6. I'll eventually find the note, and then I'll read said note
Out loud or to yourself?
to myself first.
I'm going to try to peek over his shoulder, though. Rude.
I will need you to do a stealth.
Valari
And-
says rude because that was her idea, and she's upset that
And then
Valari got
Dadrick-
there first.
There's only room for what?
I've never done anything sketch like that.
16.
16. I need you to try to counter that if you want to know if she's peeking over your shoulder.
I mean, I don't think I really care.
Okay, that's fine. So, as you open the note, there's a little hand scratching on the front that says, "Share when you must." You look at the note, and there's a broken seal on it, a crest that you don't recognize. And you pop the note open. It's a very quickly sketched out note. It says, "King and queen have perished. Their small band of warriors as well. The children are being transported to the west for protection. The stone was not found on the battlefield. All hope is lost." And it's signed what you believe to say Sergeant and then Keth.
Like, I go, like in a super secret quiet thing. I go, guard, hey guard, come here.
Yeah, what's up, man?
No, come here.
I walk over. Sorry, I did. Yes.
I want to get real close to his face and go, I should have read this earlier. Then I'll hold it up for him.
Ari, you have caught the seal a little bit. The broken seal that you see seems to be familiar, but you can't quite place it. But you don't get any of the words as he kind of shuffles through the note.
Can I roll a history check on if the seal is the same as the one on the ring that I have?
Sure, you may.
It's okay, Thadric. I think you read the note when you were supposed to.
13.
That's fine because you've studied this ring a bit, so you only need to get a 5. Yes, it is the same.
I know feminine. I seen and I hold up the ring.
Garth, you're being pulled in to look at the note. Were you able to get a chance to read it? Kind of, as you've got one arm being shaken?
Yes, I see the words. I mean, I see the words king, queen, stone, taken, Keth,
Don't forget children.
children.
Were my parents here?
And then I look at her ring. No, not necessarily.
Why would Cal?
Wait, no. Here's an option. Here's an option. Okay, your parents sent you away to protect you from people like Keth. Keth, a spy in their own system whom they did not know was a spy and who used their very seal to prove that he was within their depths. How about that one? That's an
So
option.
he killed my parents?
Oh. Well, he's dead, so we got... I mean, wait, hold up. Does it say king and queen dead on there?
It says king and queen have perished, along with their small band of warriors. The children are being transported to the west for protection. The stone was not found on the battlefield. All hope is lost.
Well then, he may have, and used your family's seal to prove their death.
I need answers. I'm gonna barge into the library.
I look
As
at
you-
that and I'm like, next time an ethereal being gives you a note, maybe read it earlier.
No.
Like,
It was like, because he was all like, "This is about your life, and this is
read
about your."
it.
I thought it was a thing about my future, and I don't want to know my future.
Right? I get that, but that's not how this dude works. It's all, look, come inside. I'm like,
I
it's
only
all
met
about
this
the
dude
past.
one time, and we fought some guy in his books.
He could have asked. I mean, he's all about the past, right? In the past and like the immediate present, but never about the future. At least not that I learned.
As you two are bickering in the doorway, Ari bursts in, her hair a bit disheveled as she just like stomps in and just looks around. It's a small bookshop this time. It doesn't seem to be a library. The same thing across all of the shelves. The books are moving and bouncing across to very ethereal nature. Behind the desk, there's a figure you recognize looking into a book, a glowing ghost of a man who closes the book and sets it down and grins and looks to you. Well, welcome. I just finished my chapter. What is troubling you, Miss Aubrey?
Were my parents evil and involved with Keth, or was Keth a traitor and killed my parents?
Oh, there are plenty of stories that weave together to form our lives. I cannot answer all of those questions, but
Fine.
Your
I go to the
parents-
shelf and look for the book.
as you're looking for the book, you grab a few books and they shoot out of your hand. You notice names across the bindings, but the magical power that holds them onto the shelves doesn't let you pull them off. And as you're frantically moving through, he lets out a little Miss Ari, your parents were not evil. They were actually protecting you and others. There was someone evil in their midst, but I'm unable to share more, or things could get a bit unraveled here.
I mean, the evil person was Keth. I mean, look at that note, dude.
As you burst into the doorway, hearing some of the discussion here, which, see, I gave Thadric, unintentionally, a bit of information that, well, Thadric, here is the letter I meant to give you. And he hands you, or reaches out with a folded piece of paper with an unbroken seal on it.
Garth looks at Thadric and is just like, my dude, this whole time, you didn't even have the thing you thought you had, but if you had read the thing you had, we would have gotten this information, and now you can do with that thing what you, but like also, maybe don't sit on the information from an ethereal dude.
So Thadric takes the note and like staring at Garth and just puts it in his
Would you read
Open that right now, so help me if that's another letter about my family who I never really met. I will kick.
Well, I never met him either.
Aurelia,
Oh,
this is the
I'll,
letter.
I'll read the note. Yeah, that's fine.
Thadric, as you begin to look through the note, it details a bit of some of your father's side work that he was doing. You know, he built many high, well-crafted weapons in his forge, but he was also building weaponry that he was sending to other planes. And your father was actually helping others, like the Rumiel that you had met previously, fight other iterations of an evil. And the note goes on to say that you two are destined to fight the evil in your realm. There's a few notes that are at the bottom. Do you wish to continue reading through it, or do you want to stop part way? I don't want to continue through if you don't want to.
Yeah, I'll wait until like when we're asleep or something. Like,
Yeah. So you're able to glean that there's a very, very special nature to your family that wasn't told to you as a boy, and the forges that you grew up working on. And then there's a bit that you go through, and it seems to start detail a bit more about you and your potential nature, and that's where we'll stop, and you can look at that later.
we have to get home. If Keth is dead here but not dead at home, then I need to go kill him at home.
Wait, no. We killed Keth here, but we killed the Keth that traveled from our home. Wait, unless we're not just in a... Hold up. Did we just travel through a portal that went through our own dimension, or did we travel through a portal that took us to a different dimension? I just assumed that we went to a different land, not a different dimension. However, if we did just come to a different... Well, no, that would still have brought the Keth from our...
The librarian grins and kind of just taps you quickly. He pulls a book off the shelf and you catch that it's your name on the binding, and he turns the book and shows you the pages side, and you can see a good chunk of the pages are a bright white, and then they turn to a tan colored page partway through, and he opens up right at the page color change, and he reads, "And then they followed the small goblin through the portal." And he closes the book and tosses it back up on the shelf.
And that's where the bright white page meets the tan page?
Yes.
Holy crap, we're in a different dimension.
But I thought that's what the door was.
No, oh yeah, okay,
Lindsay's
so
dying
now we're in
already.
a different, I get what you're saying, yes. But while I thought we merely traveled from one place in our dimension to another place in our dimension, simply traveling as if by flight, but shorter, there's some sort of spell, as it were, we have traveled from our dimension to a different dimension, but also a different place in that dimension. So while we came from Faerun, this dimension may have a Faerun, but while I thought we went from Faerun to Nier in our own world, we have instead traveled from Faerun to Nier in a different dimension. And our story, my story, which is in that dimension, is currently on pause. Which begs the question, librarian, is there a librarian for my life here? Are there two of me here? Because Rumiel, the Rumiel we saw, who may have been from a different dimension in and of itself, said that I was dead there. Are there two of me here?
There would have been two of you here if things didn't get out of hand about 100 years ago. And he slides a map across the table to you, and you recognize some of the map, but it seems much larger than the maps you've studied in the past. And you recognize some outlines of what could have been Faerun, but it reads the Sunken Sea, and it takes up most of Faerun. And the map is a lot of water, small bits and pieces of some of the edges of the east and west sides of Faerun, and then he points down to a corner, and it shows the few islands that you're at, and then above it there's another continent. And he says, this is where you're at here in this dimension. If you would have transported to the same place, you would have been deep underwater. And he slides the map back towards himself. Valari.
Wait. Did I catch the map?
You got some of the map, yeah?
So we would see we get a reference of where we are in relation to Faerun now.
Yeah, Faerun is in the northern hemisphere, almost completely opposite of the southern hemisphere where the Isles and a couple other small continents lay. So you're essentially, if you shot a hole straight through Faerun, you're even further from where you were in Loudwater, you're almost directly across.
So, librarian, perhaps you cannot tell me this, but a Keth came from our dimension, and unless it was the Keth that lived here, and then came to our dimension and doubled back, then we may also have another Keth alive here.
I don't care what dimension he's in, I will find him and end him.
Well,
You guys are confusing me.
Yes.
Am I in my dimension, or am I you in a different dimension? Wait,
You belong here, buddy.
where am I?
I think you're in your dimension, new place for you. We're in different dimension, different place.
Yes.
So
Okay.
when we came here from Faerun, we traveled dimensions as well as space.
Yes.
Across space and time.
I don't know. Time's all wibbly wobbly.
timey-wimey.
So, like, do you guys have a different Thadric? Is he cooler than me?
Never met him.
But I'm sure he's not cooler than you.
Well, hold up. We can't make any promises. Shh. Right.
Garth,
Not.
not gonna be in your wedding if you keep that up.
Are you getting married?
I mean,
Get the book.
I had a ring on my finger.
I'm sure it's in one of these books.
Oh yeah, the Ring of Sacrificial Leadership.
It's
marriage,
down
isn't it?
over
The Ring of
life.
always knowing where you are.
That's marriage. Sacrificial leadership and always knowing where I am. We are married.
Oh.
Well, I guess cat's out of the bag. Apparently, while they were hanging out in Linus, the ordained pillow goblin married them while they were sleeping. Their hands were touching or something. I don't know.
Our fans are gonna riot. You cannot say stuff like that willy-nilly.
Look, we just
Scott Denuso's already moved on.
Lucas already drew the art, so to him we're already married.
The
But I
next
guess he
bit
drew
of
the invitation. He didn't draw the wedding itself.
the next bit of art from Lucas Martinez is going to be the pillow goblin, right there, perfectly in time, standing there officiating the wedding.
If someone else officiates this wedding, I'm murdering everybody.
I take it back. Other dimension, Thadric might be cooler than you.
I'm murdering everybody anyway.
Look. We've got to figure out a lot of things out. All right? So, librarian, I understand that you can't interfere with things.
But why are you here?
Yes, why are you here? Is it the spooky times? It's not you. This isn't the spooky times. Is it the spooky times?
There was a lot of fog.
It's not the spooky times as you would expect. It may be the end of times if you're unable to complete things properly. So, I've beckoned you here to give you as much information as I can in order to assist your journeys.
I'm all ears.
Well, you better be all eyes because I can't speak of these things. I may just only give hints and other pieces. I've dug up some bits about each of you that may help.
Does
The
this
first
mean I get
here.
to read?
What is that?
Does this mean I get to read?
If you wish to read, I will hand you the first of the notes. And he digs through a little bit. It's a very simple note. It's got some gold edging on the paper, and as you open it up and you look at it, it says, House Valari welcomes a new warrior of light, eternal, to the parents' truth and protection. A happy occasion in these dark times.
Valari, I found your birth announcement.
Also, boop the snoot.
Which boop?
Not
Dog
you.
snoot. Dog
Dog.
snoot.
Okay.
Puppy boop.
Oh, they're off screen. As
This one is right here.
aha, I got this one.
I'll take it.
Here it is.
Oh, clunk.
It's a sleepy snoot.
Jared smacked her head.
Sleepy
Bear?
snoot.
It's spoop the snoot, not concuss the pooch.
Got the pooch. There we go. There's a doggo available for view as Valari uses this moment to think about what she just heard.
Also, her parents' name were Truth and Patience?
It says House Valari
says
welcomes
House-
a new warrior of light.
I don't have the first name.
To the parents' truth and protection.
Truth and Protection.
A happy occasion on these dark times.
Oh, I thought it was like she was born for her parents' protection. I didn't think that was the name.
No, Garth, as you read this, you recall that when tieflings are named, sometimes they use clan names and other names that are a little bit more unspeakable to most tongues. But others who want to fit into the world actually use virtues for some of their namings, but they live by their clan name, which is usually like the quote-unquote surname that most people are used to. So it looks like, as you're understanding this, there are two parents, one named Truth and one named Protection, who brought a child into the world named Eternal, but their clan name or house name is Valari.
Your name is Eternal. That's got to be good.
That's for like a long time.
Yeah.
All right.
But also, I just want to point out, this is fine paper. This is edged in gold. Also, poor people do not send out birth announcements. That is something of a higher... For those with status, for those with power. Eternal, you are of rank.
What do you want to... Should we keep calling you Valari? E-E-T? Eternal?
Valari, this is the first time you've ever heard anything else other than Valari. You do remember as a child when you had made your way to the streets from the small orphanage that you were attempted to be kept at. The blanket you had with you just had a little tag on it that was emblazoned Valari.
Wait, so is there another Valari here too?
Well,
I'm half serious about collecting an army of us's.
no, because remember, we are from Faerun. As the librarian said, if things had not progressed the way they did and Faerun were not half underwater at the moment, then we may exist here. But I do believe that it's possible we don't exist here, the three of us at least. Nor Rumiel. Rumiel came from a different dimension, unless that portal was from the same dimension.
What are the papers you got, library man?
Right, sorry.
Well, who wishes to read this next one?
I mean...
And he hands it to Garth. Garth, as you begin reading it out, you recognize some dates on the top, like it's a note sent out. These dates align with the dates that you were used to in Faerun, but seem to be about 40 years prior to last time you were in Faerun. So it's a bit older note. This says, Field Agent Orphan Report. A dark elf follows me. His relentless hunt has carried on for many years. At times, I swear, he has more of himself with him, like a twin. The stone is still safe, but I may not have much longer that I can do this. I will begin seeking help from my sons, as the guild has yet to deliver any help.
Goodness. This is either... I would assume that this is actually from Rumiel's father, it being about 50 years back. Now, I had traveled with Rumiel for some time, and he would have told me of his...
Yeah, so Rumiel had told you a bit about his family. He had a handful of siblings, I believe 8 in total, or 7
That's
others,
two
essentially.
handfuls.
His father, many years ago, had actually disappeared on a business trip and had never come back. The business wasn't clear. Rumiel either didn't know or didn't want to say, but his father disappeared many years ago.
Okay, so here's what I'm getting from this one. Rumiel's father carried the stone. This stone, which was... Now, just to double check, librarian, these notes are from our dimension, right? Or are they Thadric?
Yes. Everything that I'm giving you is raffled up from your dimension, and
All right.
Faerunian?
while it may culminate here,
Right.
it emanated from your realm.
Faerun
So,
1.
yes, Faerun 1. Well, that's rude. That assumes that
No,
we are the... Okay,
Faerun 1.
cool. So, Rumiel's father was the one carrying around the stone, and it seems to imply that Keth there were two Keths. They figured out the portals. They started working together, which means that either there is a Keth still at home, or the Keth from home traveled back here. But that is who he was following, who was shadowing him. He went to get his sons involved, but he never got back in time. That is why Rumiel set out, knowing about Keth. Oh my goodness. So is there a Keth here, or is there a Keth there? That is the question. We should prepare to face Keth once
Oh,
again.
I'm prepared.
Oh, I know you want to kill him. I'm going to let you, because I killed the other one. So
Next
you
one.
get this one.
Do you have more letters? Is that all? Is that all we get?
I do have a slip here. Thadric, you would recognize this one.
You've got women's clothes?
As he hands a small folded piece of paper. Thadric, as you're able to look at it, you see your family's crest emblazoned on the front, much like an order slip that your father would use when he was making or taking orders. And you open it up and you recognize his handwriting, and it says that there's a very special order to be shipped through the known channels, and it's underlined on known channels. There are 6 swords and 4 crossbows with custom engravings on them, each a couple small letters on all of the weaponry.
Swords and 4 crossbows. Let's see, is geography a thing? Would I equate known channels to be a trading path, like a regular, like traders run, or would it be a?
You don't recognize them as normal traders runs on a map. Your father would deliver through quote unquote known channels when you were a child.
Lucas Martinez has an important question. Known channels or gnome channels?
Yes.
It is the first known channels.
Okay. Continue.
So as you were looking at it, you recall your father speaking of using known channels for delivery, but you nor your siblings had ever gone on any runs through this known channels trading path. So as far as you understand, it's not on a map, or it is on a map, but he never let you join.
Got it. I mean, the only way that I'd be able to figure that out is go and talk to Dad.
Go and talk to Dad. Call him up.
Like, hey, Dad, tell me about your secret trading rounds. But you said so there were 6.
There were 6 swords and 4
6 swords
crossbows
and 4
that were
crossbows.
ordered.
Does it say who the purchaser or payee was on the form?
It does not. It doesn't have any information as far as who is getting the deliveries. The only things that really are able to be stuck out on each of them, on the 6 swords, there are 2 swords that need the letters A, G on them. There's another sword that needs KO on it. There are 2 swords that need VEL on it. And another one that needs a small diamond shape engraved on the handle. And you do see on the 4 crossbows, you see AG on 2 and VEL on 2.
Is he communicating any of this?
He's looking it over.
Okay.
And it's a slip that he understands. So if he wants to interpret it in any way,
Yeah, that's. I'm trying to figure out how he would interpret it. I mean, to Thad, it looks more just like an incomplete purchase order.
yeah, you do notice that it is missing a few pieces filled in, but there isn't even a cost filled out on it. Like there's no monetary exchange. It just has the quick note, and then the items to be made. Very much like if you were practicing, or if you just filled it out and they were like, nah, I'm good, and then you crumpled it up.
Right.
So there's no pricing even on individuals.
Like what? What good's an incomplete order form?
For what?
Some swords and crossbows.
Anything
Uh,
special about him?
Can I, see it?
I mean, nothing fancy about them. They're just custom orders, but there's literally no other information.
Custom how so?
Just like hilt designs.
Magic?
Hilt designs and emblazonments. That's a word I said.
Blazonizings?
I mean, we could ask. It's my dad's writing.
Does it say who the order's for? Are there names anywhere?
Nope.
Well,
I mean, it's not. It obviously was an order that was intended to keep secret because there's shipping details, but not details. But like, there's a diamond and some initials and
Initials?
Co and Ag, and Vel and Diamond, and I forget the rest.
Those are the ones you saw.
I think about what he said for a minute. And I look down, and then I go, and I throw up.
Well,
All over the slip, gross.
And then I go, and I hand him my crossbow.
now, Thadric, as you grab this crossbow, you know that your family didn't make crossbows normally.
Right.
The craftsmanship very much rings out of your father's. The way that there are a few bolts that hold together the stock of the crossbow. Some of the metalworking on the bow itself, you can recognize just sort of how he finishes some of the metal on some of the curvature, and even the emblazonment of BEL. You recognize this to be what you believe is your father's work, especially since you've been around forges and weapon working for many years, that you can easily start to tell each of the craftsmen apart.
Okay, so there's like, do you have 3 more of these?
No, but Kath killed my parents.
You want to kill him too, then?
I mean, I don't know them.
So they're still your parents. You wouldn't be here without them.
Were we ever not gonna kill him?
Oh, we're always going to kill him.
well, at
We
one point
already
thought he
killed
was
him.
dead. Yeah, so that, exactly.
Well, I'll
that.
kill him again,
We thought he was dead.
and then I'll wake him up and kill him again.
But like, so what are these other? Does a crossbow have any properties?
The crossbow, as far as you're looking at it, is a very sturdy weapon. You do notice that down the firing chamber where you load the bolt, it seems to have a nature that isn't metallic. Usually you'd use a metal chambering for it, but it seems to have a power that is imbued with essentially ability to fire any form of damage, as long as the wielder knows how to invoke that. And as you look across, you notice that there's a few small bumps that look almost like they're bolts to hold the piece together underneath, but you wouldn't need as many like bolts to hold the weapon together from underneath, as you usually sandwich things together on the sides. Each of the bolts, as you kind of wipe at them, is a slightly different metal, and they glow very lightly different colors that may be different elements that you could imbue your bolt with.
Okay.
And you notice this is something that your father very rarely imbued magic into the weapons unless there was need for it. As you were taught that you use your weapon with skill and you don't use it with any extra finesse that would put you at advantage of the battlefield. And you've heard your brothers all speak of like the honor of what that may mean. But there were times where it's like you've heard you must fight dirty when you need to.
Okay.
Badrick is like.
Well, I don't-
Badrick.
Remember, I'm not a smart man. So clearly,
I mean, Thadric, you've spent your time around weaponry and weapon making. So while you may not feel you're the smartest of people, this is kind of in your nature, and it's a weapon with extra power that you definitely feel.
Thad understands. Well, I can't
Yeah.
get out of it. Thad understands the logistics of the weapon,
Yeah.
but not so much. He's not equating what to do with the information.
Okay.
But yeah. Other than, like, I guess there's like 9 other fancy dad-made magic weapons out there. Let's see. Do you have swords, Valari?
Do I? No. The only reason I have this, Thadric, is because when we were in a mansion thing that Keth was occupying, I was in this weird trophy room, and he had like all sorts of weapons and dead beings, and Garth was there. He saw some of it. It was it was messed up.
Wait, was this when you touched a thing with your pinky?
No, this was before we met you. This was before we met Drackland.
Yes, it was when shortly after we arrived at this realm and uncovered Keth's plot. We wound up in his mansion, which was now walking, and then, yes, there was a trophy case of weapons, but also heads on walls, which was awful, and Valari saw Vel.
And there was some tieflings that looked like
They looked
familiar, but not familiar, and then there was this, and it was just, I don't know, it like called to me, and so I just broke into the box and took it.
Oh.
Because it had my name on it, right? VL,
Well,
that's enough.
So I have an idea, but I'll say that later because I don't want to make anyone sad. But
so
do we
you'd
know-
rather make us sad later than now?
yeah,
He's treating us like the letter. He's
Oh.
gonna make us sad way later when it isn't appropriate anymore.
what? Well, do we know anyone named Ag or Co? Or Diamond Shape?
Or diamond shape.
Oh, diamond shape.
No. Mr. Librarian, is there any other pertinent information we need before we go kill Keth?
Well, if you wish to tie it all together, I do have few pieces here. This was a memorial in the city that these warriors had ruled. And he slides a tattered poster up onto the tabletop. Well, the poster depicts a handful of warriors kind of standing together, fighting things coming from all sides. The top says King and Queen, Protectors of the Plains, across the bottom. It shows two figures in the front standing back to back, a sword at their side and a crossbow, each firing out.
Do I recognize the faces?
You don't recognize the faces of the two in the front until you look at them a little closer, and the woman seems like a woman you've been traveling with for some time. The face is very familial.
But I don't recognize any from like the trophy room or anything.
In the front, I'll explain it a little bit more, but there's two figures in the front that seem to be like taking precedence. They're humans, and the woman looks very similar to all of you, to a woman in the room. Almost motherly here. You do recognize Thadric here. You recognize on the hilts of the swords your father's stamp, where he would place it on every sword as a weapon that he called out as something he had made. As you're looking at the two in the front and you catch sight of the woman and the familiarity, you notice there's a few other beings behind. It seems to be two tieflings facing away, and one is firing what seems to be a few different magics out of their hands, the male, into a portal, and the female is stabbing with a sword into some beast coming out of the portal and has a crossbow firing in the back. You do recognize a little bit of a familiarity about the two here. They're a bit smaller and drawing and a bit more worn, but it seems like there may be a connection with some families. And then Garth,
Does either of them have purple hair?
it's a line drawing. There's very little additional things
Got it.
than black and white here. Garth, as you're looking across and seeing these connections, you're in the back of your mind, you feel almost this blankness for a second, and the world just stops, and like there's ringing in your ears as you recognize a final character in the back, a man who is kind of floating and sending out whirls of all types of magic from his hands, his feet, and his mouth at beasts coming out of portals in the background. You recognize this man very similarly to one father who had been taken away from you when you were quite young.
Do you want to read a magic roll?
Oh yeah, we've got a magic scroll. The Cadence, thank you for your
It's
tips.
his weekly attempt to harm, maim, or kill Thadric.
All right, with a mild magic. We'll see what the mild magic has. Let's get them all together.
Come at me, bro.
I will pull one.
Okay, so hear me out. Picture maracas and Zelda's paws.
Man, as this has been mildly targeted, and it's mild, I'm sorry, Thadric, you're immediately disadvantaged. Your next attempt to roll a d20 will be at disadvantage.
Ugh.
Burn, baby, burn.
So the Cadence, we're slowly getting at him. You'll get it soon. But that does let me, as the players are all thinking about what they had just seen and heard, we do have a tipping system which works off of tips, bits, follows, subscriptions, etc. It looks like Scott Denuzzo is our hype boss, but not for much longer. If you guys want to knock him out, whoever becomes the new
I'll
hype
knock
boss
him out.
gets to assign a free nat 20. So that is in place of a roll. They could say it's a nat 20. And it crits if it would crit normally, or it would be just a perfect success otherwise. So yeah, we've got this going on. You do see this poster here, and it seems to be an in memoriam of the leaders of this area.
An in memoriam?
Yeah, it seems to be celebrating them. As previous notes had said, King and Queen had died, children have been transported, and as you're starting to put them together a bit more, you're realizing your families were fairly connected at some point.
Oh my goodness, wait. If they killed all those people, the children they would have transported, that would have been us.
Does that mean that this was actually supposed to be our home?
This is what Keth and whatever that other being did.
Faerun is sunk because of them?
Yes.
Aw, hell no.
Hold on.
I like to keep my cool every now and then, but I'm about to start throwing spells, yo!
Guys, we can go somewhere for some serious answers. Will you just go talk to my dad?
Okay, so hey, at least one of us still has a dad alive. That's cool. He's still
Tragic
alive?
backstories and all.
But like, because if he made these and was friends with them, you probably know some stuff.
Okay.
So, if Keth knows that, I might not have a dad. I don't know.
Look, it's quite possible that
Well, maybe we should at least warn him that he's on the.
I don't think that. I mean, I think that's a very good idea. I do want us to also
Pew, 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 pew.
I do also want us to be aware that we may be dead here if they took us, or if we find ourselves, we will not be the beings that we expect to see.
But if the children were transported, and if that was us, we wouldn't be dead. We were taken to the Faerun of our dimension.
Wait.
We're not going to find ourselves because we are ourselves.
Then I am your Thadric.
Cedric actually had a good idea of
Yeah, I'm cooler than that other one.
Dad.
There might not even be another one.
Wait.
I need a nap.
I think Sarton just gave himself.
So
He was
I gifted a
gifting.
couple subs. We're going to let the dice decide.
Boop the DM.
There, I will roll a d4. We'll go from left to right. Lindsay is 1, and Jared is 4. We'll roll this die.
It's a 3.
Air horn, boy,
Wow.
So Lauren gets the nat 20. And now you get to take down Here Be Dragons D&D. It's my little gift to you guys to take out the DM, have fun, and the few of you who had gotten the resubs,
Free sub.
enjoy.
Gifted
Free
sub.
subs.
I want a free sub.
Ooh,
I'm
a sub
hungry.
sounds so good right now.
Ham and turkey.
Yeah, there's
mayo.
all this information here that had been given to you. Cedric had offered to go talk to his father. The librarian looks across the group. Well, there's plenty to destroy and take care of, but as I said, it culminates here. I will do what I can to protect you, but I can't reach much past these walls. I do
Any
have
magical items you want to give us?
I do have some information,
That
some
too.
names that you wish to understand. Some people. He snaps his fingers a couple times, and from the back, a small, ghastly goblin comes walking forward, and you recognize the goblin
Turn undead.
as one said TikTok. And as he's walking forward, he's got a few books in hand.
Does Cedric recognize him too?
Cedric never met TikTok.
I never met him
alive?
in TikTok. That's not true because we went to that,
He
Secret
killed
house.
him.
Yeah.
He's technically responsible for
Yes,
killing
but
him.
not. But he
Uh,
wasn't in TikTok form.
Right. He wasn't TikTok. He was in TikTok form, but it was somebody else in his form.
Thadric,
right?
So Thadric does recognize him before he exploded and the six-armed creature had come out. Thadric does recognize him as an evil. The rest of you recognize him as a friend. This is the TikTok form carrying a handful of books forward, and he grins as he looks across the group. And he's still a handful of shelves back, and he continues at a slow pace walking forward. And the librarian puts his hand down on the shoulder of TikTok. And while Thadric may be a bit frustrated and furious and confused at this moment, the rest of you may feel an overjoy. And the librarian looks at all of you.
I've just got my normal RBF.
All right. So the two that may be showing emotion.
I drop the sword and put it on the floor and like.
As you put the TikTok sword onto the floor, like to honor him, you notice that TikTok has a chain around his neck, and on that chain there's a large sword that looks identical to the one that you're holding.
I thought you were gonna say it was a clock.
No.
He was gonna check his Andy Miller clock.
Yeah, so he's got a big chain.
So on that chain, it's got the emblem that looks like the sword that Ari has. There's now the TikTok sword, where TikTok's corporeal form is now turned into a spiritual form and speaks to her sometimes. The librarian looks down, grins at him, and grins at the group. Well, you see, this is Nicholas Clockwinder from another realm. Yes, you know him as TikTok, and you hear a little
Nicholas? Really?
Nicholas Clockwinder. Him and his family were well known for keeping the clocks in a realm where things were different. TikTok spouts out. Well, you see, in my realm, it was kobolds and goblins who were like the alpha beings, and for some reason, humans were like the ones who roamed the forest. And
wait, goblins and kobolds run?
Yeah.
Did they get along?
Oh yeah. We were just like, humans, elves, and dwarves. We got along kinda, but like, we did that thing. But
do you go by Nick Talk?
Nick Clock.
No, I had a brother named Nick. So when I was young and I was winding up one of the clocks and I was a tiny baby, my mom said that she would call me TikTok, and it was funny, and I just stuck, and I hate it. But
then why did you tell us your name was TikTok if you didn't want to be called TikTok?
Well, the librarian and I, we were working together to solve things. In my realm, Keth, well, we got rid of him pretty quickly. There's 7 different planes that exist, and well, he's dead on a few planes, and he's not on a few others. And well, on my plane, we solved it, and we're coming together to save Faerun, this one, and one more.
Are we alive in your plane?
Yes, very much so. There's a small village just outside of what you call Waterdeep, which we actually call Water Zone. That I think all of you are friends in.
Are our parents still alive?
That I don't know. This guy would know, and he points up to the librarian.
He doesn't tell us anything. Well, he tells us some, but not,
But you and your parents in that realm are you and your parents in that realm, not in this one or the other. But, well, things are a bit weird when you travel between realms, but we've saved a few realms. We've lost essentially others. This one is on the chopping block. Here is it seems to be one of the final ones. You've killed Keth on your realm. You guys did it. You did it here. So
that was our Keth.
When did we change realms? Because we killed him.
Well, when I tackled him through the portal.
Yeah, and then we went through, but we killed him.
So
Oh,
that
was your cat from your realm, and
We killed him in this. Okay, we killed our cat in this realm.
You're playing your realm, whatever it may be. You killed him on this one. It counts. He's dead. He's gone. And the librarian just pats him on the head. Show him the books. I believe they might like to see whose they were. Well, here you go. And he sets him up on the countertop. The librarian puts a hand on him. You are not to open these books, as things could unravel, but I wish that you may understand a bit more. And he moves his hand off of the top. And the top book says Truth Valari with a subtitle, King. And then he turns him a bit, and you see Protection Valari with a subtitle, Queen. Alondra Gold Shield with a subtitle of Queen. And as you're starting to skim down them, the librarian removes the top two books, puts his hand on Alondra Goldshield, and looks at Aurelia. And he says, Ari, your grandfather changed your name so you wouldn't be able to find what the true cause of things were. I believe you were born Aurelia Goldshield.
Lady G.
Was he even my grandpa?
He was your grandfather, but
Okay.
he escaped with you and a few other children, which he found homes for. And the librarian looks and grins at Valari and Garth at this moment.
Found a home for my ass.
You're here now, and you're saving the plains. Is all I can say. It wasn't my choice where he had separated you, but the remaining books, and he turns them a little bit further, and you see Arcturius Goldshield, King, and you see Kellum Orifin, the Exiled King.
Our parents were badass, guys. And they were friends.
I mean, I kind of knew mine was, but this paints him in even a cooler light. Yeah.
Gold shield.
I like it.
I like it.
Gonna have to change the color of the shield, but
Reaches up and grabs the books and starts hustling them back. And he disappears out of sight for a moment, and then comes walking forward. I deceived you a bit. I hope that you don't hate me for it. I was just trying to help you protect the realm, and well, it wasn't my plane to protect. I did what I could.
You set us up, you son of a gun.
I mean, you were gonna give me a candy shop, and I was truly excited to not wind clocks anymore. Oh. And the librarian pats TikTok on the shoulder, and he was very close. Well, after your spill off of that clock, and I had to recover you, you could have set up shop in this other realm, and well, you're here now, and you help tend the library, as you no longer have a book, just like I. And as the librarian moves to move a couple books, you notice a pendant swings out from his shirt briefly, and it's a hammer, or basically a hammer that looks very similar to one that you may have rescued. And he grabs it quick and tucks it back into his shirt. And we live on, I suppose. I feel a strange presence. There was no one else with you, was there?
there's a panther.
Oh, my panther!
As you look, there's a panther just like popping its head into the door and peeking back out. And Astro's just sitting there on the floor, just minding his own. No, presence filled with evil.
Oh yeah, we have that. Wait, no.
Oh, well, I mean, sort of. We have the stone.
Yeah, is that evil though?
No, those are things you must dispatch of. I do believe, if I was reading your stories correctly as you were walking in, you did meet a friend from another plane unintentionally.
I mean, there's a
Friend
guy
is
that
not-
came to see us.
Romeo.
Friend is rough call.
That's what I was saying.
He's my friend.
I'm still good with him.
You don't
unless
even know
you-
that dude.
I don't
Well,
trust
hold
that
on. If
dude.
If the librarian says he was an evil dude, then I'm gonna be a little miffed.
I'm gonna feel completely vindicated.
No.
I will feel miffed because I didn't trust him and you didn't trust me not trusting him.
Well, whatever your trust may be, his action was correct in the end.
Stealing?
There you go.
He stole a stone and he's evil.
He stole the shard, and it was a good move.
He was a paladin. A paladin's
Listen,
allowed to be-
our parents are friends. We can be friends, but we should probably go defeat this evil, right? This has been a nice little rest, but everything still hangs on the edge of a sword, on the precipice, on the brink of annihilation.
Yeah. Well, if he's saying things right, and the librarian takes a few books and steps around to a shelf and starts shelving them, and you can see visibly the librarian's a little bit distraught. He lets out a huff and kind of slams a few books up onto the shelf. TikTok looks at you all. If he's saying things right, I may be able to get in touch with my brother. He's on my realm still. He's a valiant adventurer. Garth, I heard you have something special, a book that may hold secrets. We can use that to get in touch with my brother.
The bee book?
If you want to, he can take a shard. He can start spreading them out.
Is that what's best? Spread them?
Well, I've only been able to peek into a few of the books, but it seems when I read of your story, the power got weaker. At least that's what the narrative says. Outside of what you knew, did the stones stop shaking, or did they change colors? Did they do something? Quick!
They have gotten dimmer.
Maybe the power's escaping. Maybe. Oh, and that's how I died, by falling off a clock. And he looks around as the librarian steps forward. That evil is here. Just hold tight. And the librarian snaps his finger and the door slams shut, and you hear as the panther gets pushed outside of the door. And
Panthy!
the green glow of the books kind of flickers a bit and goes a bit dim. And this is where we're going to go on break. So we'll be back in 10 minutes to figure out
Oh
what
my
this evil is. The players are going to go huff and puff into a paper bag for a couple minutes as they have gained some interesting insight.
Seriously.
And we'll be back in 10 minutes. And maybe everyone's hair will still be in the same spot if they haven't ripped it out and trying to understand the madness. So you'll hear our theme song, and that will hopefully beckon you back. We'll see you shortly. I guess. Weird. We're going on break. Bye. All right, we're back. welcome back. Whew. First half was a bit nuts. We'll see what the second half has. Because last week we were having audio issues, can you hear me now? We'll wait a second for chat to catch up.
Well, on my end, yeah.
On my end, I hear it too. I just checked it. We're good.
Scott says
I
no.
don't believe you. Scott,
The fact that he said no.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you hear me now? No? Okay, good. You're a very good lip reader, Scott. The rest of you have very good ears, so we'll continue forward. Scott reading lips and whatnot. So I'm just going to talk like this the rest of the time so Scott doesn't know I'm talking about him. Blah, 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 blah. Cool. We had some information come up in the first half. The librarian and TikTok. We were left with the library kind of flickering in lights and the librarian believing there's some evil in the building. While it's not imminently dangerous, it seems to be approaching as the flickering.
Dangerous.
It is.
Let's be honest.
The lights are flickering a little bit across the books and across just the glows on the walls. There's no sconces or candles to provide the light, so it's a very eerie nature. The librarian's hustling through the shelves and looking for whatever could be there. TikTok is standing there, kind of looking around, a bit nervous. Well, I guess there's evil here. We'll get it together, right, guys? Like we've done in the past. That was some crazy stuff that had gone on, right? You didn't know I was from another realm, and well, you're on another realm, and well, things are a bit mixed up, huh? So, Garth, as I'd asked, if you want, we can get in contact with my brother to take one of those shards off your hands. How are your heads feeling with all this new information?
My head's feeling.
Wow, that's really weird that your head feels like a horn in the fog. But I guess that means Scott Denuzzo showed back up.
Yeah, it sure does. It's a cute puppy.
Well,
I'm just trying to wrap my mind around everything because definitely should have. We are from the other realm. Our parents there protected us and did all the things.
Oh, I got a fun trick for you. Watch. And he snaps his fingers and looks around. He snaps again and looks around. It'll happen. And he snaps really hard once more, and a blackboard kind of appears. It too is ethereal, and there's some chalk floating in front of it. Garth, you can't touch this with your hand, but if you want, you can use your magic handy thing, and we can sketch it out together and understand what's going on. So you know what now?
So I do that. I cast Mage Hand. I grab the chalk.
Yep.
And I draw one world. All right, this is our world. I write the number 1, in which we are alive, and I jot all this down. Our parents saved us.
Wait. Your world is number 1. What about mine?
I don't know which one you're from. Are you from this one or another one?
Well, I'm from another one.
Okay. Well, so do you want that one to be number 2?
Oh.
Look, I said the same thing. She said we were world 1, though, so I'm going with the princess.
Okay.
Put a 3 up there for me.
You're world 1.
No, he's from World 2. We're going in the order of which we visited them or experienced them.
This is the princess. She's the highest ranking person here. So, world 2 is the one we're currently on. I note that. Faerun gone. This is Thad's actual home, but for us, we may be dead. Our parents may never have existed because Faerun was killed 50 years ago.
Okay, I met you on world 1. Yep.
Yep, you met us there.
Everything's fine there. We came to world 2.
Our Rumiel is from this world.
Rumiel Prime.
He was from.
Was he 1 or Prime?
He was from.
Well, you guys and your Rumiel on world 1.
In World 1.
He's from there. Yeah. World 1. And he points up to World 1. And he draws with his chalk little quick depictions of Valari, Garth, Ari, and Rumiel. Very stick figure-like. Each of you has different things. There's some curly horns. There's a very, very short man. There's very pointy ears. And then there's a big shield on Ari. Okay, so that's World 1. You 4. Yep,
So, we then met another Rumio from another dimension, so that would be World 3.
Okay,
Yes?
so we're on World 2. Okay, so he draws arrows of all 4 of you going to World 2. And this is where you met that one elfie guy. Oh, Draclums.
Draclin.
Draclin, yeah.
Lord Draclin
yeah.
to you,
Okay, so I'm going to draw another elfie
And
guy.
Barth.
I'm going to put some nice, fun coat on him. Oh, Barth, yeah, my friend. And he draws a small kid next to him.
How is he, by the way?
Oh, well, he was still going on after I had passed. He's probably off killing giants or something. I don't know. He's a
He's
good boy.
He's got a hellhound now. That's gotta count for something.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's
my
right.
hellhound.
Well, it was the Tabaxi's hellhound.
That dude's dead.
Okay, so we draw a hellhound next to Barth, and we've got Lord Draclin, and then we've got Thaddeus here. Okay. And
That's where we met.
you-
So,
You have to
Oh,
write that
yeah.
this Thadric's the coolest, though.
And then we put an Astro here, and we'll put a circle around him because he's good, and circle around this Thadric because he's good. World 2 is a mess. Wow. Because on World 2, we also, and then he goes up to World 1, he draws a big frowny face with some pointy ears on it. We bring Keth down here, and we kill him here. So now you see you 4 and Keth from World 1 coming to World 2, killing Keth, meeting a few people here, circling Astro and circling Thadrix on World 2. And then you met World 3.
sorry. Lucas Martinez, the Stumblebees are also in World 2.
Well, now hold up. They're technically in World 2 and World 3? Because did we travel to World 3?
Well, the
We don't
Stumble-
know. We've never seen them anywhere but World 2.
You've never been to anything but these 2. You're on World 1 and 2. The Stumblebees are on all of the worlds. Just you met them in well, you didn't meet them.
Also, we didn't meet them.
Yeah, we didn't meet them. We just read about them.
Well,
Ari
the
would
Stumblebees
like-
you've read about are elsewhere.
Ari would like it known that her head hurts and she is looking out, like her back is to what they're doing, looking for this source of evil, ready to smash.
Okay, so we'll go quickly for you. You met a Rumiel from 3. So we'll put Rumiel with let's just say let's put a little prime, a dash next to him. So he came here and went back. Okay? So then there's World 4, which I think is okay still. Then there's World 5 gone, World 6 gone, World 7 gone. Yep, so
Which
1, 2, 3, and 4 are good.
So you're from World 4?
Yes, that's where I was from. Yep, World 4. And I'll draw me. And he draws a little clock, and then a little goblin behind the clock. And then I went to World 1, and then I went to World 2. I stopped off to World 3 for some pastries, but they weren't as good, so I came back to World 2.
You're telling me
Uh-huh.
the whole time we were chasing after Keth,
Uh-huh.
you knew about these portals and the different worlds, and when he
So, because...
and then the whole time we've been in World 2, you knew how to get us back to World 1.
I want to move 30 feet away from Valari.
I kind of know, but the problem is I fit under some bounds that the librarian has, and if I alter fates, it could unravel all of the worlds.
But you weren't bound to him before.
Well, I only gave you the information I could. I was bound, and I wouldn't be able to share that with you. I'm sorry. And I'm sorry that World 7 died with 5 seasons of Firefly.
Firefly, that sounds fun. What's that?
Something about cowboys or something.
It was real shiny.
Sounds peaceful.
Look, okay, I think Garth is saying this 30 feet away from Valari because he doesn't know how she's going to handle all of this. Okay, so
Unfortunately, Garth, there isn't 30 feet away that you can really get to without climbing up and over the countertop and going back into the rest of the books behind the shelving. You're in the front little bit of this shop that kind of...
He'll do it.
I mean, I get to the farthest corner and like stand behind some stuff.
All right. As you're like blocking yourself in with some of the more like natural books, the non-ethereal, that you're able to kind of build this wall as you're speaking. Valari, I do need you to roll on your wild magic table, please. And then continue your thoughts there, Garth.
Now, I mean, you think we've wrapped it all up in terms of who's who and where's where and what's what? What it does seem is that there may still be a Keth from this dimension, as well as another being that we need to destroy, and we do still have a chance to go home.
Yes, I think you're correct on all of those counts.
Let's talk out on this home thing again, because I'm a little bit irritated that they were saving the children and finding them new homes while Garth went off to live in some fancy mansion talking to the gods or whatever, and Ari got to stay with her grandpa, and I was put in a freaking orphanage.
I did not get to go live in the mansion with the gods. I lived in a home with my mother in Aberdeen.
Oh, okay, so that's better. You got to live with your mom, Ari with her grandpa, and I was put in an orphanage.
Well,
Ari, your grandfather must have something against tieflings. That's the only one.
And he grabs a book. And as he pulls a book that's bouncing off the shelves, it sparks. And you see electricity shoot up his arm. And the ethereal hair sticks out. And TikTok's glowing structure kind of like fades in and out a little bit. And he rips the book open. It says here. And he flips a few pages. Oh, if I go out of existence, Valari, it's because I love the party. It says the caravan was ambushed, and everyone split directions, and there were plenty of deaths, and survived. And the book pops out of his hands and shoots back up onto the shelves, and TikTok like fades in and out of existence. I read that you had another caretaker that was with Ari's grandfather, and she got you as far as she could before she was murdered outside of the town. She carried an amount of wealth for your upbringing. And the murderers took the gold and left you on the streets, and
How is that better?
a nun came by and rescued you. But it wasn't her grandfather's fault. He looked for days for the other 5 children.
Other 5?
Yeah, there were plenty of families who gave lives to save your plane. And he's huffing and puffing as whatever he did to read the book really damaged his being here.
Are the other 5 still alive?
One is, and another is somewhere traveling. I believe he last found where he was keeping strange invisible bees.
I had a book about bees once.
Yeah, is it invisible bees?
Invisible bees, yes.
They make invisible honey?
Yeah.
Then did you actually eat anything?
Well, I didn't do it. It's this other guy. But unfortunately, as 3 of you survived, there were 2 children that didn't make it to the ambush.
Keth has to go.
I've never wanted to kill someone more than I want to kill the person that I thought I already killed.
Well, if I've heard things correctly, it seems that what are you telling them out there? You're not supposed to be giving them information. And you hear the librarian as he peeks around. Nicholas, we've talked about this. You can't give them more information, otherwise things may unravel, and their paths may no longer exist.
He was just telling me why I was in an orphanage.
Well, you were placed there because you had no parents, and and he steps behind a shelf. I guess I can't tell you more. You can make it home, and I believe Kath is only in a final form or two. If I have my numbers correct. You're not gonna like what you hear. He's back here! He's back here! And the librarian comes rushing to the front and throws a chest down onto the ground. And the chest is rattling and shaking, and it is a very dark glow. It almost like seeps the light into it instead of exuding light. And
my finger is glowing with a crackle of electricity as I aim it right at the chest.
As you look at this chest, TikTok goes diving behind a bookshelf, and the librarian looks at the group. There's nothing I can do. I am forbidden to fight. Please, save the shop. And he ducks behind the front shelf. The room that you're in is about 20 by 20 with a small little incropping in the corner. So if we're looking at the bottom of the room where you entered to the top of the room being the edge of the bookshelf that you can jump over, it's 20 by 20. There's a small incropping in the bottom right corner that only takes up a couple feet. And then behind the upper part where all the bookshelves are, you may enter, but that seems to be like the sacred zone of where the librarian keeps things. So I'd caution you to be careful there. But the bookshelves seem to go down hundreds of feet, much deeper than the block that you had walked around to be. You do have a moment to ready anything, if you wish, before we roll your initiative. So, party, please tell me if you do. We have a glowing finger from Garth pointing at the book. Somehow he's got these ethereal shades that just showed up on his face, and he's like, special agent ready. The other three, do you do anything as this box that is now bouncing and shaking, that's only about 8 by 8 by about 5 inches tall. So it's a square box. It's small. It seems to probably contain not much more than a book or two.
How long does that take? Hang on.
I prepare fireball.
All right.
What? I'm just kidding. I don't have
All right.
that.
You fool!
So
The DM said
as you prepare fireball, I need to know how you learned it, and what source books we're using here. I don't rules push much, but in this case, I need to know
of everything. It's part of the everything.
Oh, because we're on World 2, a fighter actually gets to cast and a mage gets to punch.
Yes.
Wait.
Exactly.
We don't want that.
What's the floor made out of?
The floor seems to be made out of... We have digressed into the floor is lava, everybody. So for those of you listening, quickly get your feet off the floor and onto the nearest surface.
3, 2, 1, go!
You now must make it to your kitchen in the next 3 minutes without
It's
touching
over,
the floor.
Sawton. I have the high ground.
Oh. Well, you are the DM now, sir. So the floor is made out of wood, but because this is a otherworldly here, the wood seems to emanate a presence of almost marble. So it's harder than any wood that you've stepped on, but it does seem to be wood nonetheless. Meaning it is flammable, but it's going to be hard to smash.
I do also want to say that I want to line up so that the shot I take has a clear line of path with nobody in front of me or on the other side.
Yeah, I'm imagining if we look at the view again, you're in the bottom left corner, kind of opposite of the door. The box is in the center of the room. The rest of the party is kind of near the box as the box is tossed up and over. So you're going to be... You maybe glance some of the party if you just fired straight in. So if you wanted to, you could kind of move towards the door so you're firing back towards the books in the back. Firing almost straight upwards if we're looking at a map here visually.
I don't know if I ever said, I grabbed my crossbow off the table, so I have that all readied.
I would like, and I don't know if this is going to work because of your weird stone wood floor. I'm going to try and stone shape kind of a just a lid to press the box to the floor. Does that make sense?
Stone shape.
Stone shape to like just press and settle the box, like so it can't up and down.
Yeah, the floor responds more than you'd expect it to, and you do get a bit of like a grip on top of the box, and it just kind of rattles on the floor and between the grip, as if you couldn't get the grip so tight down to it. But it just rattles in place for a moment, and as it rattles, it seems to start slowly breaking apart at the seams.
I grab my longsword.
You grab your longsword, all right?
Oh, put on my hammer.
Perfect. Any other preparation that you need here?
It's magical.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I keep my hammer.
Wait, you see Thad go, wait, so who do the two kids that died?
Awkward.
Whoopsie.
For a second, I thought Jared was giving us options if we died right now and needed to play other characters. And then he's like, no, those kids died. And I'm like, well, all right.
No, those kids died. But if we
There's
did,
5 others that are unaccounted for.
if I did allow you to play one of them, you'd suddenly be like a beekeeper on World 1, and we'd have to go back and forth like party in peril and sipping tea next to the bees, making sure they're doing their thing. I can't see them, and then back to the peril. Yeah, it would actually be interesting. I'd love to run a session like that. Okay. We're good? Good, we're ready?
Mm-hmm.
The box continues to shake, and it starts to crack apart. And the instant it cracks apart and explodes, light just fills the room, blinding everyone. So if you had a shot prepared, aimed, if you had something ready to throw, feel free to make that roll right now before we roll for initiative. And it'll be at disadvantage because you are getting hit by light.
It's not a roll I have to make, it's a roll you have to make.
Hey,
got
one
him.
of those. All right, well.
Wait.
Oh, you're gonna tell me my roll is what you're saying.
Yeah, what if I said your roll was your roll's a 12.
That's all right. I have plus 10. No, just kidding. My roll is a 12 on what stat?
Dexterity.
Dexterity. Well, let's see. Then it's a 14 total.
That's not gonna be enough.
Ouch. Okay, 14. Let's see what you can do for me.
Yeah, just give me a second. I just have to roll these 8d6.
Okay. 8 of them.
Yeah, it's just 8 of them. It's just a lightning bolt.
Man,
I remember I described that crackling lightning.
What DM let their players get up to level 9 without killing them?
We're 9? Okay, just checking.
It was like, wait, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's 10,
Do, do, do,
20.
Well, while he's adding this up, chat, how has your week been?
It's 38.
My Facebook account got closed because they think I'm under 13 years old on my 14-year-old Facebook account.
Okay, so
For sharing that. Oh my gosh.
Also, if you're not aware how many web apps and games use Facebook to log in, you should be.
You understand that quickly when
you
don't have it.
learn too as soon as you turn it off. When everyone's
Yeah.
like, they're stealing your privacy, you turn that off, and then you're like, oh shoot, I have to turn it back on.
38 points of lightning damage.
Copy 38. So, I didn't get any signed waivers, realizing that you're only 11 and a half years old here, Jared. Man, we're going to have some waivers because apparently in your 11 and a half years of life and all of your work you've done in that 11 and a half years.
You're enabling my drinking.
You're enabling my drinking, says the man who's accomplished a lot of things in 11 and a half years.
I was going to say, I've known him for like 8 or 9 years.
Yeah.
So 9 years. So I knew him since he was 2.5.
You met him in preschool. Well, he was in preschool.
So wait, do they think you're 13 because of content you were sharing?
I don't know.
Or, like,
So the only thing I can track it down.
Blocked.
The only thing I can track it down to is I made a comment on someone's post. Joseph Gordon-Levitt made a post about 4-word horror stories, and I was like, Trump wins the election, and then and then I saw a bunch of things come through, like comments being posted, and the email that came to me that said your content or your things, it had my photo as the ISIS flag. So I don't know if it got compromised and people went in and just kind of.
Somebody probably hacked you and people were reporting you. And...
Yeah.
I was gonna say I thought your comment might have been something like, I lost Fortnite last night, and that would be the only thing that I'd say maybe. But wow.
All I have to say, like, it just reminds me, like, I know we're streaming right now. Everyone, just be safe and be careful when you're on the internet. Be careful who you're interacting with, who you're saying, what you're putting out there.
Don't be 11 and a half year old.
Don't be 11 years old. Well, it's funny because I downloaded, because basically they're like, hey, we don't think you're old enough. So you take a picture of your ID and upload it.
Yeah.
And they're like, now it'll probably be like 30 days. But they're like, you can download your Facebook data file that has like all the posts you ever made, pictures and stuff. And none of those comments or changes are in that. So I don't know what's going on.
Weird.
Also, for anyone out there watching, like, if you want us to help you track down if your info's out there, just send us your social, send us your credit card info. Like, we will help you track all of those
Scott's
things.
already sending his password. So Scott,
Perfect.
we will log into all of your accounts and make sure nothing says you're under 13.
There you go. He's gonna change his name to Butt Denuzo and everything.
Butt Denuzo everywhere. Yeah, with that little sidetrack.
Sorry.
No, I asked.
That's fine.
Sorry.
That's fine. We're a show, but we're also here for fun, and that is fun. We dive in.
No, that's just mine.
This unknown enemy failed the roll, and whatever this lightning bolt was hit it.
It was a lightning bolt.
What's that?
You said whatever this lightning bolt was.
Whatever it was, somehow it
was
hit.
a lightning bolt.
It was exactly a lightning bolt, but whatever it was, it hit. Whatever this thing is.
Whatever
Garth, you do see a shock of something that like is forming into a humanoid at this point. And as your eyes all adjust to the room, the stone shape that was holding the box down and the box are obliterated, and standing in its place is like I said, how I explained the box, it's not emanating light, it's almost absorbing light to make up this form of a dark elf in a dark robe. And as this dark elf is standing there, and you recognize it to be Keth.
Do the rest of us get to resolve the stuff we had readied for when the light?
Yeah. So he fired his shot. What were you firing?
I had my crossbow.
Okay.
Ready.
Please roll at disadvantage to see if it hits.
I got a 17.
A 17 at disadvantage?
Yeah.
Okay, then roll your damage.
That's,
Man, at disadvantage at 17?
they can verify it.
I believe it. All right. Anyone else have guaranteed hits here?
It has
Just
been
my fireball.
so verified.
Just your fireball. As you cast that in the center of the room, at what, level 3? Do you want to cast it at level 5? What do you want to do?
6, please.
I'm
6.
behind books.
Let's see.
Everybody dies.
Not me.
Rock.
So if I will to allow this to happen because you read some book somewhere, I guess you roll 11d6 and everyone makes dexterity saves. Do you want to do
No.
that?
No.
No, that's
Are you
fine.
sure?
This is specific.
Are you sure? I will allow it. We're in a weird spot here.
No, I don't allow it. As a
Fine.
level 9 wizard who doesn't have fireball, I'm not letting her just say I have fireball.
I'm not letting the fighter cast fireball
As a
and kill us all.
producer on this show, I say no.
As an executive producer. Oh,
How many do you say?
fine.
No! I said no!
Okay, well, no fireball from the fighter, I guess. Man, ruining my game.
Are we though?
Said.
Like, are we though?
No, not tonight.
So you just add numbers to it or make him jump through a portal or
Make
something.
him jump through a portal or something. So Ari or Thedric, did you have anything ready to fire at this being?
Nope.
Or slash or whatnot. Okay. As the hits happen and vision comes back, you notice it to be a form of Keth. But the moment you notice, he stretches his arms up, and 2 more sets of arms come from his sides. And with the first set, he scratches the back of his head, and with the second set, he kind of just like waves at all of
But
you.
one of the sets only has one arm, right?
No, all of them are here.
You.
He seems to be in a much younger state than the 6-armed man, but a little bit older state than Keth as you knew him when you killed him. So he seems to be somewhat in between. And at this moment, all of you who had met Keth start to place them to be the same
I
creature.
was literally just thinking that.
Thadric recognizes the 6-armed man as he's never met Keth face to face.
You guys should like asking questions.
At this point, I do need initiative rolls to be completed.
26.
I heard a bunch of numbers there. I had
Ooh.
268 for somebody.
Yes.
26 for Ari, 18 for me.
26 for Ari. My tablet's slow. Sorry, guys. It got an update.
No, he's just making excuses. He's just slow. He's bad with technology.
He's playing
Yeah,
Candy Crush.
Programmer life.
He's really
You
old.
can't play
so he's
Candy
not
Crush
very
without
good with
Facebook,
it.
Nathan.
Yeah, he's got Facebook.
You
You're the
can.
one who
Your
is
data
lost.
just doesn't save.
Yeah, I'm not
okay.
advancing.
Garth, Thadric, and our little blink dog friend Astra here. While we mourn Jared's loss of 368 levels of Candy Crush. Or is it 1,368?
It's actually the Pops Funko game.
Oh.
Dr. Nuzo is calling us out. He's right. You did ask for the wild magic roll. I did show it to you.
Yep.
But was it resolved?
It was. You'll know in a little bit. So let's see. Blink Dog. Astra.
I didn't roll his. I just did that. Sorry.
Okay.
I don't have control of his sheet yet.
All right. Garth.
20.
20. Thadric.
4. Because of Cade's disadvantage.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's the best place for it to be, like, applied, though.
And
Dude, you
then,
should have rolled a perception check earlier.
and then, do I roll separately for Panthros?
Panthros was actually locked outside. It was pacing outside, and the door got shut.
Damn
So
it.
Panthros is peering through. You can kind of see there's a cat peering through some of the glass, and you hear some grumbling outside of the glass.
That's so mean.
You
Never have
may
me nice things.
you may roll for Panthros in case Panthros may make an attack.
That's all right. I feel like he's going to be a non-factor.
Well, I will roll for him then.
He's
where
like,
is
you
it?
can't use him. He's not in the room. He can't fight, but we're gonna roll him on initiative.
Hey, he's gonna make faces in the window. At the top of turn order is the 6-armed beast creature person.
Oh, convenient.
Well, if you must know, it was a lot of pluses on his normal roll. But as this being looks across the room and kind of waves and taunts, he takes 2 attacks.
One to
And the-
scratch his head, one to pat his belly.
Man, you got me. You got me. And as you'd faced him before, he uses glowing orbs in his hands. He faces one towards the main group.
Counterspell.
You're using counterspell on the main group. You're away from the main group. You're in the opposite corner of the main group. So the main group is Valari, Ari, and Thadric.
I mean,
If you
if I
counterspelled
could
it,
save 3 people,
You're also
Yep.
behind books.
and
you counterspell this glowing purple orb, and the orb just like dissipates in hand, and his hand, instead of like casting forward, just kind of crumples around whatever he was going to cast. The second hand points to you, Garth, and I need you to roll a Constitution save.
oh, Constitution. You mean my strongest? Oh, actually, that's not bad. Okay, here we go. I was trying to be funny,
Also
but
books.
well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, are we sure we're actually fighting a real thing?
15?
Garth, you have your hand out and you're yelling counterspell or whatever your magic is for counterspell. If it's no or
It's just
whatever,
like, I think it's just yeah, it's just a It's
So-
it's only somatic, or it's not somatic. It's somatic. It's the
so you just go, and then as you've got that smirk on your face and your finger just stops in front of you, you realize you can't move your finger, and then you can't move your arm, and then you find yourself completely paralyzed at this moment.
You fell from my trap. You fool! All of your energy was focused on me. I let the most powerful member of my team to be able to attack you.
This is non-canon at the moment. Nathan's having fun.
I was like,
It's the cartoons. He feels it coming up, and he's like, "I don't like what you're doing to me." And 5 minutes of monologue later, it's like, "All right, everyone's checking their watches," and then we go to Artie.
Yeah. So Ari is furious. And she's gonna battle cry, "Buckle shields!" and smash down with her hammer right on his right shoulder for 17 points of damage. Or sorry, 17 total.
To attack?
17 to attack.
so are you going by your actual last name?
Yeah.
All right. That does not meet AC.
Okay. Well, then my second one is 28. So what you gonna do about that?
That does not meet AC. It exceeds
Okay.
AC.
So it beats
That-
it.
No, it exceeds.
That will be 12 points of damage on the second swing.
Okay. Do you have a third swing, or are we?
You are.
I mean, yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I do. We'll
I'll
just get
roll
it out of the way, and then I'll use my 20 later.
What is the light like in this one?
Critical.
Yeah.
It's a dim light.
Great, thanks.
I mean, critical is not much when I have a light hammer because it's only a D4, but that's fine.
Bonk.
13 points of damage for the second one.
And this is a magical hammer, right? This is the magical hammer.
Yeah, I'm using hammer tamer. It's hammer time.
Oh, it's hammer.
Yeah, no,
Hammer's
I have the one that we got from
Yeah.
Underground.
So
She
Cedric
has
the
hammers.
magical hammer. She has Hammer's
Oh.
hammer, which I believe is a +1 and just flat out.
Gotcha.
And I don't know
Um,
what the magical one does yet.
Magical one is +1, and it also does some additional magic.
I don't know the additional.
Yeah, you'll find out.
Maybe if you live.
Maybe if you live. I just, man, as you're both going in with hammers, I'm just remembering those blow-up hammers as a kid that would just make squeaky sounds as you hit people with it. I can't wait to go back to the Linus realm and have you guys like fighting with squeaky hammers again.
Bring it.
Perfect. Garth, you are paralyzed, but
But
you may repeat your saving throw.
That won't do it.
Lucky.
Oh, yeah, I have lucky. Natural 20.
yeah.
Garth, you finish waggling your finger and realize that a few seconds have passed by, and you come out of your paralysis, and because you just kind of succeeded at the start of your turn, I will allow you to continue your turn.
Nice. Okay.
You just
Yeah, I'm
can't
gonna kinda
cast
like-
magic, speak, or move.
I kind of come out of that. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, son. And so, let's see.
And now.
I'm going to. How many of those do I have? Not as many as I'd like. I think just because I'm startled, having been paralyzed and wanting to do things quickly,
Yep.
I am going to cast. No, that's not right. Wait, what? I don't think I read.
You're going to cast Shillelagh?
No, sorry. I'm looking at my.
But
Like
My spell might not have gotten reset.
Butted. Oh, Buttbot comes in at the right time. Your spells didn't get reset.
Well, because let me just remind myself, because the day started searching for the shard,
Correct.
so I
you-
would
you
have
guys-
cast locate object. I know I did that.
Yep.
But I don't think I cast any other spells after that point.
You only casted a ritual water breathing. So your spells might not have gotten reset. I know you guys took a little bit of a rest.
We took a rest and we only had the thing with Rumiel.
You did fight a couple creatures with Rumiel. So if you casted, I think you casted one spell.
Because you were like
that was
tracking
the night
that.
before.
It was this morning.
It was only about an hour ago, so you didn't take a full rest at this point.
I thought we fought those things after we rested. Remember, we rested after fighting the things that came through the portal?
No, we fought the orc thing. And then there's the whole thing with Rumiel still. Oh, yeah, we just rest.
You did rest.
He's
Okay.
right, because
Yep.
that's how
Okay.
we split up
Well,
the rocks and stuff.
Yes, you did rest, and
And then we
with,
took a short-
with Rumiel around. Yes.
So I'm going to. The thing is, I'm casting magic missile at second level.
At second level. Okay. So make sure you've reset and get your second level.
Yeah. Got
Technology.
them all going. Gonna borrow that. So 44.
44 points of damage.
Oh, that's just poo. 10 points of damage.
I mean, average of 44 is 8. So you did slightly better than average, right?
Yeah, but it's 44 plus 4. So,
Oh.
yeah.
Ooh.
So the average is 12.
Well,
It's okay. I did
you
10.
win some, you lose some, right?
Look, I was just paralyzed, and it was literally like boom, boom, boom.
It was just like you just fired out of nowhere and
Yep.
didn't have like full force behind it. Yeah, that makes sense. So the missiles hit and kind of absorb into this creature as you hit them. You see the essence of the creature ripple, and knowing that it is a ethereal being, you believe that to do the damage you expect.
Lovely.
At this point, it is Astro's turn. and he turns and looks at this beast, and he growls as he recognizes the 6-armed man, and he launches himself at full force, runs and jumps and teleports, and gives him an advantage on his bite, which is perfect because it matches AC here, meaning he does roll my die, 6 points of damage as he latches onto the arm of this creature and just starts growling and shaking. And you see his fur glowing blue. He seems to be very furious at this point. The panther is out. The panther is outside, and you hear a roar and a smash through the window of this bookshop, and the books come toppling over. But as soon as like all of that happens, the window repairs and the books haphazardly shift back up in front. The panther is here, and he is going to claw out at the 6-armed man.
Panthro!
And does really good. Panthros does cause some damage as he just claws out and slashes the back of this man. And we go to Valari.
So I start walking forward slowly at first, and I cast Shadow Blade, so it just like this
Very
all the
dramatic.
shadows come together in my hand.
And as you do that, some of the shadows you see come from the edges of the room actually also pull from this beast as well.
Right. And I'm actually going to use my nat 20.
Ooh, you've been saving that one. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
For a while.
She's been waiting for this moment.
So as it comes together, then I
This is the Skyrim cutscene where you just like stab the man up through the back.
I rush forward a little faster, and then because I'm like facing him, right?
And
I want to like stab him in the gut and then like twist.
Okay, so you hit with a nat 20.
And then I already rolled my damage and stuff.
I mean, you've rolled it all. As you're doing this, regardless of the roll, do you have anything you're saying at this point? Because I'm giving you this moment that you've like walked forward and just stabbed.
No, I don't say
No
anything.
catchphrase,
I just
nothing?
look like right into his eyes, and I just like.
All right.
Okay, so the damage
Pokey, pokey.
though is 11 plus. Plus 24, so 35.
35 points of critical hit damage
Right.
with the Shadow Blade. And as you stab in and kind of lift up a little bit on this beast, it looks at you and you can tell it's done damage, but it still grins with a otherworldly like evil. And you're right up on it. Thadric, it is your turn.
I gotta.
Do you have a bonus action?
No, I need to quit. No, because I used it to cast Shadow Blade. But I don't know if I missed something. Scott Denuso said he gave me another one tonight. Did I miss that and not like think it?
Yeah.
Or?
This when he took over here, he called you by the name that you just found out.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that's okay. So
Okay,
I saw
there
the
you go. There
hashtag
you go.
Princess Eternal and I was confused. Okay.
All right, so
Thank you.
you used your stashed up one, and you have another from Scott Denuso.
That one was saved from like the beginning of April.
Probably from Scott as well.
Or yep, Scott or
Dadrick's turn.
So I'm gonna do to this thing the last time, same exact thing that I did the last time that I fought this guy. I'm gonna use my natural 20 that I got from Scott Denuso with a guiding bolt cast at max level.
Coming in clutch.
Scott's gonna be the one who gets the kill for this.
So, once again, you see that liquid steel shoot forth and pierce this thing in the chest. As,
Jeez, this damage is gonna be so ridiculous.
let's see. So it's 42 plus.
Oh,
I gotta roll
42
damage
plus.
here.
Yeah. This is
And
just
there's a
stressful.
couple ones. It's only 62 damage.
Gosh.
Wow, 76, and I only managed to roll 20.
So what is your total then? 64, you said?
64 damage.
This guiding bolt, you see the molten metal like shoot across the room and arc on all sides, like it goes around Valari and just sinks into this being. You hear screams, even though Valari doesn't see the face change in any way. You can tell this creature is near death, but fortunately for itself, it's up next.
And I'm just standing here looking it in the eye like,
You're just standing right there.
Let me make sure I don't have nothing else I can do.
Yeah, go for it.
Bonus action.
Any bonus actions, anything to help.
Well, I can't do it because it was a spell, so I can draw my other hammer, or draw the hammer, the fancy hammer.
The fancy hammer. All right, you draw your fancy hammer then.
the librarian hammer.
I wish sneak attack applied to spells.
Yeah.
Oh wait! Oh damn it! Never mind. It wasn't a weapon attack.
All right. With that, 3 hands glow on this creature. One,
It's countered spelled.
the first one is counterspelled. All right. Well, that one was going right up against Valari's head. Valari, you saw a very like dark red color as the hand goes up to you as you jabbed into it first, and that dissipates, and the hand is just floating in front of your face.
When do I get to find out what happened from my wild magic?
Whoa.
Do you have missing health?
Do I?
Do you?
No.
All
Is
right,
your
well,
tail
you don't-
gone?
You don't get to find anything out yet.
Okay. Okay. I was just.
So the verbal here, you feel an energy rush through your body, but nothing changes at the moment.
Okay.
All right, the second one.
My tail goes missing. I'm gonna be pissed.
Oh,
You're gonna
the
lose
second-
out.
The second one is a bright glowing ball that appears, golden yellow light, and it's faced right at Thadric. Thadric, I need you to roll me a Constitution save, please, sir.
Is it against being charmed?
It is not.
Good.
Is it against dying?
Because I'm real good at con saves, just so you know.
All right.
Guess what happened?
Is that a nat 20 or nat 1?
Yeah.
Nat 1.
Oh.
So you fail.
Modified out 1.
So you fail. Fortunately, there's no critical or anything in here.
Oh my gosh.
As this glowing ball hits you, it feels like 1,000 needles under your skin rippling under your body. And as it pokes from the inside out, you see glowing light pierces. And when it does that, you take 37 points of necrotic damage.
Oh, man.
And-
Ow.
You say, "Ow." The final
countdown.
the final globe is back towards Garth, who's counterspelled 2 of these spells. Garth, I need you to make a dexterity save, please.
Okay, that seems fair. Let's see. Come on, dice. Well, no, I don't think so. 15. That didn't save me before.
It didn't save you this time either. This ray is a deep blackness that hits you, and as it does, you feel bits of yourself trying to fade away. You get small holes in your garment as it hits, and it pierces through, and you feel like you're getting a sunburn and frozen at the same time. You take 36 points.
So like a freezer burn?
Yeah, you take 36 points of, oddly enough, force damage as this thing pierces through and attacks you in that manner.
Whoa, I'm halfway dead. Whoa.
Whoa! Welcome to the club.
Perfect timing here. With those attacks, it is Ari's turn.
Leave my friends alone! Slam down. It'll be a 22 to hit on the first strike.
It'll be a 22 to hit for the first strike. It hits.
Cool. That'll be 9 points of damage.
9 points of damage.
Guess what? The second strike is also a 22.
All right. How many points of damage there?
12.
12 points of damage. Do you have any third, fourth, or fifth attacks? Any fireballs you have hidden up your sleeve?
I say, Brianna, cast web at face.
As you yell that out and you're smashing into this creature, Brianna rears up and shoots web, and you just end up like crumpling this dark mass of like lack of energy or energy absorption into a small pill of like spider web that glows black, and you just continue to smash at it as this thing had went to kill your party. The ethereal nature of Peth, or the Chronomancer, or whoever you were fighting there, is now gone.
The Coronamancer?
The Chronomancer.
No wonder he's so evil.
I
didn't
believe
give
in
his
him.
line.
Oh shoot, that means we all have COVID now.
I stayed far back.
Can't leave the library for 2 weeks.
It's been 2 years in the making. I knew this was coming. No,
How did
Made
you
it
know?
this far with the
it was all part of my plot.
vaccine.
Yeah, so you have smashed this thing into basically a ball of web as you had become so furious with this vision of Keth, or the time traveler, realm traveler, six-armed creature. The battle is over, and you are left in this room a bit hurt, some of you, a bit untouched, others.
I want to ask my friends, can I smash the box?
The box is exploded,
Oh, great. Okay.
so
Hey, Patrick, I know you can heal and stuff, but I have a healing potion if you need it.
It's just me and Garth, right?
yes.
That are injured.
Yep.
But let me just. All right, I'll take.
Roll an Arcana check to see what he hit me with.
Can you roll a what check to see what you do?
An Arcana check.
Yeah, you may.
What were you saying, Thad?
I'm gonna give you 27 back,
Okay.
as well as myself and anyone else that needs it.
27 points of healing if anyone needs it.
And it's a 20 on Arcana.
And I'm just standing here like
Holding your sword.
holding my shadow blade and my crossbow, and I'm like, really? Every freaking time.
Garth, as you try to understand what hit you, and you look at some of the holes in your garment, you realize that you are hit with a low-powered or a very misfired disintegration ray. And as you understand that more, you definitely have that feeling of, whoa, I survived that.
Missed it by that much.
Yeah. As the room kind of goes silent, other than a little bit of huffing and puffing and some healing going on, the librarian stands up and you see TikTok kind of peek over the countertop a little bit. Is it gone?
For
I would
now,
say so.
Yeah.
Wait. Like, so we destroyed the book. So is that guy out of the timeline now? And which planet E is he on?
Unfortunately, because you destroyed this book, this was one iteration of him. There's 7 copies of books of everyone
that's
here.
why I said for now.
We've destroyed 2 others, and we hope not to.
I've injured one.
Yes, there's
And we
plenty of these books.
No, we've killed one.
Books here?
we killed the one in the house, and we just maybe kind of killed this one.
Did we?
Well,
Kill
what-
the other one?
Why don't we just take the books out of here? Kill them right now.
We killed the cats, not the
the-
6-out man.
The books are, well, some of them, if they're still being written and you mess with them, will implode timelines around them and potentially kill everyone who's met them.
He has an ethical code to adhere to.
Others-
We can't just ask him to give us books.
Correct. And others will do this sometimes. The book is not easy to kill, but the being when it escapes is what you can kill.
So that is the end of that being story.
Of that one, TikTok,
Nick Talk? Nick Clock?
TikTok, Nicholas, whatever.
Andy Milloclockus?
The librarian looks grumpily at the whiteboard that had been put up, or the blackboard that had been put up, and sees some of the drawings. Well, because this is here and he's explained some of it to you, it was from one of the latter realms that no longer exists. So thank you for ridding us of that one, but please forget you ever saw this. And with a snap, the blackboard and the chalk disappears with a little bit of ethereal chalk dust floating in the room.
But he doesn't like flash us with the like metal flashy thing.
No neuralizers here.
Well, we're strong enough for that one, but the one that we faced before was stronger.
Also, the town was expecting us like a while ago.
That's
We
true.
have- We have to kill Keth again.
And again and again.
Well,
There's only so many agains. Like, there's 7 realms, right?
Yeah.
How many times can you kill him?
we've killed him twice. We're gonna kill him once more here. At least 3 of the worlds were gone, and we killed one of the ones from the 3 worlds there. So there's two more in the worlds that are gone, which means technically only 2 beyond the 1.
Historian, librarian person, dude.
Yes.
Can you
Sir.
confirm that Keth is also the 6-armed person? Like the 6-armed person and him are the one and the same in every of the realms? Like he has transfiguration abilities?
All I can say is his books, in order to read them front to back, you must have all 7 in front of you. They crisscross, mix and match. You remember the papers as far as Garth's story went, correct?
But,
No.
but like there's 7 of them, not 14.
Well, you remember the papers of Garth's story, correct? How they changed colors. That could be every other page and sometimes even half of a page in this being's books. And as that happens, you destroyed a book of Keth. The subtitle there was The Chronomancer. I believe you've bought both, one and the same.
So there's somewhere between 7 and 14, or there's 7, or there's 14. I'm not.
Oh, I know this answer. TikTok jumps up and down and looks around. Can I say it? He looks right up at the librarian.
Yes.
I'm like nodding my head and listening.
7. And he looks back at the librarian, hoping not to like be scolded for answering. So you hear 7 blurted out from Nicholas Clockwine, aka TikTok.
So that means
2 down,
2 left.
5 to go.
2 left. Right.
left.
Because that means we've technically killed 3.
Well, you didn't have to kill all of them.
Yeah.
My
Oh,
realm
no.
took care of one. Your realm took care of one.
In
Right.
round 3, Rumio was fighting the fight still. They may have won.
I don't.
There are a few other realms that are gone, just gone. Like nowhere to be seen, off the map. That plane just kind of went boop, and it's gone.
I wonder whose fault that is.
Yeah, I'm just trying to keep track.
As far as I've read in the books, and he looks up at the librarian, who is like scratching his face and looking away and like making little coughs and humming and whatnot as he's pretending
He's like,
not to hear any of it. As far as I've read in the books, it seems there's one more left, and one more in his 6-arm weird form. So I think there's 2, but books, spoilers. The cat's strongest version of himself has been hunting himself in all the other planes to become the most powerful, absorbing all of the evil that he is. All of the evil.
He's been his own undoing. The fool.
So how many of him? Well, he's also been his
Well-
own making because he's absorbing the power from.
The
Yes, but
6-armed
it's-
man is like all of the evils of Keth put together.
Yeah. So how many has he killed and absorbed?
Well, he's absorbed what he could, and he's hunted down the remains of the others. So I think
So he's about 3 cats.
3 or 4 or whatever, but I think he's got one more. With all the power on this plane, it's bound to happen here.
All right.
Okay.
That means we must finish this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're obviously not going to tell us where to find these guys, so we got to figure out how to hunt these guys
Oh,
down.
he'll find you. You've got the stones, right?
Can we use them to fight?
If you want him to absorb the power, sure.
Okay, cool.
I mean, it didn't say that. And
One last
Yeah.
question.
well, there's 2. Regards to TikTok.
I'm just wondering the book you were talking to me about. Are you talking about the book about Joe Spukte-Peagle's life?
The book that you may or may not have acquired that's looked for from others. You remember? Remember that guy that, according to your book, got stuck to the ceiling?
Yes.
The one he was looking for.
Oh, that book.
We can talk about it in a little bit. Valari, because the librarian is letting me speak freely. I don't know how much time I have. I have to ask you a question.
I just didn't know if there was anything else you could tell me about my crossbow and if it's got anything more than just being a crossbow.
Set it up here, quick. As you do, he touches the handle and looks at it. This was your mother's. She was a strong warrior. It's imbued with some powers, but I can't tell secrets. Someone else in your party knows. And he hustles down an aisle. It was good seeing you all.
I look at
soon.
I look at Thadric and I go, what do you know about this that you're not telling me?
Oh, I assumed you just knew already. I didn't know I got new information. Yeah. You know where you like hold it to aim? There's those nubbies down there. You could like push the nubbies and change or add things to your quarrels, bolts, whatever.
Yes.
I use a hammer.
I'm listening.
So Valari, you understand now that your bolts can be imbued with some power. There's a few nubbins underneath, and each of those nubbins, if you press on them, will give a different type of damage.
How many are there?
We'll discuss that offline. I've got to get all the exact numbers on it. I've got them on another sheet here that I can't pull up at the moment. But it will allow you to add I recall, a +2 and change your damage type. Not a +2 to your roll, but +2 to your damage. So it just adds a little bit more damage to it, but changes the damage type. So instead of like piercing how it would normally be, you'd be able to do like fire damage or something else. So it completely changes your bolt. As far as what our Thadric has found out. Nubbies, nubbins, there's a difference. It's the nubbins is what Thadric had explained them as, Scott Denuzo.
Nubbins is like my go-to word.
So, as TikTok or Nicholas Clockwinder has waved you off and run down the aisles as he was getting kind of scolded, the librarian looks at you all. Well, your stories have brought you here, and your stories will allow you to get home. If you wish, I know TikTok had offered help, I had overheard. I will file a few books, and you may speak with him, but you only have a matter of minutes to plan things. I wish not to see this Kef do his wrongdoing any longer than you wish to, but I may not meddle myself. Nicholas has at least more immunities than I do, and he may divulge a few things. So it was good seeing you all, and I hope to see you again in a spooky setting, unlike this just plain awful setting. Books for sale. Who sells books? And he mumbles and walks down one of the aisles, and as he walks, he almost like disappears into the depths instead of like walks out of view. And
Spooky, my dude.
you see TikTok kind of peek around. Did I hear I could speak a little longer?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. He hustles up. Okay, I can't touch books because that might kill me. I almost died earlier. What a rush. Well, I know what it's like to be an adventurer now. I felt my life go away, but I felt so invigorated.
Which book? I'll open it.
Oh, you'll die. For sure, you'll die. I've seen it. I've met other adventurers in the last... How long have I been dead? Years, months, days?
Then just use your words.
Okay, well, so I can contact my brother. He's on one of the remaining realms, one of the last planes. He's an adventurer like you all. He can take a piece of the power, because it did fade, right?
Yes, splitting it up would be better.
I think if you split it up enough, you might be able to kill the final form of whatever it's doing.
Wait, but like, don't we need the things to bring back the...
We only needed pieces to bring them back.
Yeah,
That's why we broke it up.
Yeah, we have. That's what I'm saying. Like, what happens to that piece? Does that power then get used and then is not in existence?
You have 7 pieces, right?
No.
6.
Well, there were 7 pieces, right?
There were. Now
And
one
then
is gone.
it oddly broke in 7 pieces. So,
One per plane.
I think these were some power that fueled magic or something on the planes. I don't do magic. Like, the best I can do is snap a blackboard into existence and draw like your game plan. But
One per plane. That makes sense. Yes, send it to your brother.
But
He's not
why
on
we-
room 3, right?
no, I think as our drawing went, it was 4. But like
4.
whatever it was,
What do we do about the ones for the planes that are missing?
we just need to spread it out enough. I mean, you could try to take them all to a different plane and have someone kill Keth on this plane, or his chronomancer form on this plane. I don't know. There's 2 Keths. There's a few planes. We just need to spread the power out. My brother can help.
Let's send it to your brother.
Okay, my brother can help, but I need to be able to call him. He's on another plane. I think there's something that Garth isn't telling us about something he has. I can't.
I pull out the book.
Oh, that's...
And you see this circular shaped book. Like it's very different. It's got like almost a wire goldish bonding, and it's made of like the outside everyone would recognize as an electrum cover to it.
Yeah.
Like circular?
Electrum is the weird
a
coin
coin.
that nobody likes to use because it doesn't divide properly into gold, silver, and copper. But
Yeah. It's like platinum,
used.
right?
It's
Sort of.
used.
It's a step below platinum, I think. Or is it below gold?
It doesn't matter because nobody likes using it. It's kind of like
All the
everyone
world
hates the
is
$2 bills, so they just keep them in their wallet because they don't
The
want to use it.
$2 bills
It's
are
not
amazing.
in print. They don't print $2 bills.
Electrum
Oh,
isn't
but
used
people
in
still
many
use them.
cities. Electrum is used in very few cities. It's actually not accepted in a bunch of them. So it's an Electrum cover, probably because someone didn't really want to spend their Electrum. Continue on with your description of your Electrum book, sir.
It's thicker. It looks about. I mean, you've seen Garth poring over his spell book, and you would reckon that it's about the same size thickness wise. So it does have what looks to be normal parchment in there, and then maybe I think it does also have a little bit of a clasp to it. But it's definitely you've seen Garth, and you've never seen Garth take this book out before. You've never. The only time you would have seen it is when you saw a glimpse of it when we had the encounter in the inn, and I stuck a dude to the ceiling because that is the book that they had stolen.
Cool.
So I say, all right, what about this do you need?
Well, as far as the books here say, there's some spells in it. There may be one that we can open a plane, or at least kind of like some communication device to my brother, and maybe he can get to a portal. It's very scary.
What if I just want to take the hammer that we pulled up from the ground and my pizza slice, and I just want to kind of touch them and like make a reverberation, because last time we were beating it, portals opened up everywhere.
Yeah, as you do that, it kind of buzzes and vibrates in your hand. And when it buzzes and vibrates, the room like flickers and a little bit of static happens. And instead of like full-on portals you can see through, weird little glowing twirls appear in the air, and you hear voices and smell smells of various things. You hear some voices in conversation in languages you understand and don't understand. You smell various things such as something on fire, something being cooked. You smell some flowers in a meadow, and then as the reverberation stops after a second or two, all those little tiny knot portals disappear.
Well, maybe we can do something with that.
Let me check really quick, and I start going through the book because it's not one that I've spent a lot of time reading. I've just known it's a book that has been sought after and has power to it.
Garth, as you go through, you recognize a few of the writings, and then you recognize a few that are different languages. One seems to be some form of abyssal. I don't recall if you can read that, but you recognize it as abyssal. And there's a bit of Elvish, and it seems to be like a book that's compiled of a bunch of languages. One of the spells you can recognize looks like it's one that's a communication across lands, but it's written in such a vague form that as long as you know who you're communicating to, you can communicate to them anywhere, is what it says.
Gotcha.
So it seems to be one that you can essentially, like Valari uses message with the rest of the group, you can kind of do that with.
Yeah, I'm sure as also as a divination wizard, I would have at least some idea of that mentality. Yeah. So, yeah, I would focus in on that one and begin saying, all right, if the goal is to talk to, what was your brother's name? I just need to know who I'm talking to, and I should be able to contact him.
His name was Nick.
Well,
oh, that's right.
Valari's correct in this one. I had many brothers, but Nick is the one who came first, and he's the adventurer. He goes by Nick, and I go by TikTok.
All right,
Why
so
did you shouldn't be mad at him. Your parents would have named him.
I love my brother, but let's talk to Nick Clockwinder.
Right, Nick Clockwinder, and I begin to like read over the spell, and I guess I'm treating it almost as a scroll. Yes.
Yeah, you're treating it as like a scroll of sorts, where you can read through it and cast this by reading through it, and it does take a few bits and bobs that you do have in your bag, and you're able to conjure up this small portal of sorts. It's very similar to what Thadric had caused random versions of. And as you do that, you hear on the other side, oh man, another day that I have to clean the stables. I wish I was adventuring again. And you hear a bit of a slop and a splat as it sounds like someone's scooping some like wet mud material, etc. Oh, well, I guess I'm just gonna keep at it today.
Garth goes, hello, I'm Bob Underfoot. I'm your fairy godfather. Adventure. And I take my shard and I like frisbee it through the portal.
As you attempt to throw something through the portal, it just kind of bounces off of it and comes back to you. It seems to be only a very small hole in space that allows you to communicate. Very God, Garth? Hello?
Yeah, I was gonna try and send you this thing, but apparently I misinterpreted my spell.
Hello?
First time I've cast this spell, Thadric, okay?
Are you okay? Who are you?
Wait, what's TikTok's idea?
Yeah, TikTok, what the heck, man?
Well, it's to communicate to him. Nicholas? All right. What the beep is going on here? And
How did you think we were going to get it through the portal?
Garth, did you cast the PG version of the spell? My brother's a bit of a potty mouth.
I always put up a sensor when casting portals and communication spells.
Oh, well, my brother's a bit of a potty mouth, so you're not going to get full sentences with that one, but okay.
That's fine. I've never really seen the real Die Hard. Because it's Mr. Falcon.
Well, All right. Okay. What's going on? Hello? Who's out there? I hear a voice. Where are you? What do you need from me?
It's your brother and his friends, and we need to send you a piece of a bad power shard, but it won't fit through the portal. Do you have magic to teleport items from one realm to another?
I do not, but I can get to a place that could.
Do it.
Okay. You. Okay. I have no idea who you are, but if you're with my brother, I trust you.
We trust
TikTok.
you.
TikTok, if you're there. I miss you, buddy. I'll see you soon. Wherever it is. We'll get this solved. And then you hear like a splat of something being thrown down into mud, and some footsteps, and a distant version of the voice. I'll see you soon. Give me an hour. And you don't hear much past. So it seems my brother might be able to help. All right, if you guys can buy him an hour, I think we can meet. He knew a few mages that were able to go between lands. I'm sure they'd be able to go between planes.
Do we need to stay here and take a rest, or can we go to the town square?
I think you can do whatever, but I wouldn't stay here long. We seem to teleport all over quite a bit.
Okay, it's been fun.
I know
But
the feeling.
Yeah, it's good to meet you. For real, Patrick, sir. I've read your stories. It's awesome. I can't wait to see you guys live it out. It was good seeing you. I'll be in touch through the sword, I guess.
Cool.
Well,
Bye, buddy.
we'll talk soon. And as he says that, the door swings open. You hear a cling cling of a bell as like the door hits like the warning bell that it's been opened. The fog kind of rolls in on the floor a little bit. We'll be in touch. You go kill him and knock him dead. Whatever it is, do it. Remember, Nick trusts that I'm here. Let him know that I miss him.
Will do, bud.
Okay, thank you. Get him! And he puts his hand up, and as you are all near the door, you don't feel like you're walking out the door, but your feet just kind of push you out, and the door closes in front of you, and the lights go dim, and the building that you see in front of you lightly changes. The books in the window turn to meats hanging in the window. The metal piping goes up across the top of the building, and the cobblestone under you turns into a flat sheetrock. And with that, it seems like the librarian with your friend TikTok now disappears into the mists, leaving you heading south on this road to where you believe the meetup point is, where hopefully you'll be able to end this soon. Well, within an hour or so, and transporting some precious shard. And here's where we'll leave it for the evening, but we do want to support other streams. So we've got another stream queued up. Mr. Hoy, who are we jumping to? Let's go raid and say hi from the Here Be Dragons crew.
We're gonna go. They just started. I don't know anything about them, but we're gonna go visit the Tipsy Bard and see what
The
they
Tipsy
have.
Bard.
Sounds like fun.
Sounds
So
like
every bard ever.
every
we'll
bard.
see what
It
happens.
sounds like we're just going to like an Irish pub or something.
Yeah.
Everyone, we're gonna be at the Tipsy Bard. You should come on down. We're gonna have some fun.
It sounds like it's the competing bar of Stumble On In. Stumble On In and the Tipsy Bard across the street from one another. Let's go say hi. Join the raid. We will see you again in 2 weeks where we'll have our second June show. We will be skipping our first July show, as that will be for the States the 4th of July. So we'll have the 3rd and 5th weeks of July.
Not that any of us are gonna do much, but
But
Also, thanks everybody for tuning in, and thank you for all the donations, the bits, the
Woo!
subs, the follows, everything that you did to help make this a fun show.
yeah.
And
See you again
chatting.
soon.
We love seeing
And
them.
chats.
Bye, friends. And with that, join the raid.
Raid.